Technology Screens. I'm doing several of these videos for our website and also for different forum sites and so forth. It explains our technology versus everybody else's. One thing when it comes down to invisible technology, let me pronounce what our gains are. So my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is ILEG, and stands for Infusion Light Energy Gain. And our second gain that we have developed for our outside projection screens that use transparent technology is SFEG, which stands for Sun Fusion Energy. So, explaining this. So keep in mind that, again, you've got people that are experts in the field, and you got people that are not experts in the field who don't know what they're talking about and trying to explain things that, again, I can't express enough. You don't know what you're doing. Now, people in the field of rear projection, this is a totally different entity of projection screen. It doesn't sit in the same category as a traditional projection screen. Number one, because the screen can be see-through, which means that whatever formula, whatever application that you're applying to the surface, it's going to have something called a clean transfer. And a clean transfer means that the screen is going to have a chemical that definitely has to be sprayed on. They can't be rolled on. You roll these things on, you'll damage your screen, because whatever is on the front side, it's definitely going to transfer through on the back side. So this is going to cause a problem. If there's any imperfections on the front of that screen, it's going to transfer over. And you're going to see all the little lines and imperfections, anything that could have popped up. So number one, you do not roll these in, because, again, I don't care what kind of roller you use at the end of the day, it doesn't work at all, period. In no way whatsoever it won't work. Now, what I looked up is transparent projection screens in direct sunlight. The demonstrations I see on transparent screens, I've done quite a lot of research on these screens. Let me go over to where it says transparent projection screens. All right, we're going to here, and we'll hit a couple of these things. Now, in the demonstrations where they have transparent screens, that backgrounds always remain darker. Why? Because transferring light through a screen at the end of the day becomes a headache. Oh, look, they're copying one of our demonstrations over here. Cool. So look, it becomes a headache. So trying to get the screen to be to produce an image right through, a problem. The projector will always sit in a dark area in the back. Even if they do have lights around the screen, the image will sit somewhere in the back, and this will always be inside, because, again, they can't take this outside. Chances are, if they are doing this demonstration involving any kind of light in the environment, the projectors are not doing 50 to 300 lumens. That's just not happening. Now, what makes our technology so different from everybody else is that we can operate outside in direct sunlight. So to say that at the end of the day that we have the same as somebody, no. I know this field. I've been in this field for years, 10 years experience in invisible technology. And literally go back and show you, same projector I used 10 years to show off a screen that was sprayed to a window. So these particular screens right here are all using high-powered machines, using high-powered projectors. The screens are shot on an angle. When they shoot them on an angle, it makes it difficult for you to see the lamp glare that's going to transfer through the screen, which you will see on clearer screens. They don't make a black version. We're the only ones who have the black version. We're the ones who developed the black version. And next week, next week, we're going to be showing off color versions, including a gunmetal that can read outside. Now, here, all the lights are back there. And this helps people out that are buying in the field. If you're buying a rear projection screen, you'll know exactly what to look for and also to what to stay away from. People that are not interested in this field, this is not for you. This is not a video for you. It's for people at the end of the day that are interested in invisible technology. Also to educate those who think they know about invisible technology, to show you that you do not know. Just because any surface does that doesn't make it our product, because our product can read outside at 50 lumens. And to get a projector to read outside in direct sunlight at 50 lumens is an incredible feat right there. So this one right here we call a hologram screen. This is a 3D clear rear projection screen. Problem you have with this is not going to register outside. This is inside, and chances are they're probably using a high-end projector to do it, because most of these require it. Let me see what we have here. Now, in the demonstration they have here on this technology right here, this is rear projection technology. The difference is between our product and theirs, we operate outside. They don't operate outside. So that screen, if direct sunlight hits it, it'll take that screen out. The projectors they're using in this demonstration, because I researched the company already, are using high-powered projectors just to get the image to pull through. They can't run at 50 to 300 lumens in that environment. The projector wouldn't last. In our demonstrations, we can operate at 24,000 in the ceiling, which means the lighting we have in our environment is far more brighter than the lighting they're having in their environment. And on top of that, again, we operate outside at 50 lumens to 100 to 120,000 lux of direct sunlight. They can't do that. So that's why that screen has to stay there. When you have a screen that can do that outside of 50 lumens, that gives your screen the ability to be able to go anywhere it wants to go, which means we can go in any environment. We can operate here at 50 to 300 lumens where they can. So they would never think of, in a million years, using a 50 lumen projector outside. No one would think of doing that, because that'd be absolute madness from the door, because your screen wouldn't pull out. Can we bounce out of this one, or we have to come out of the whole thing? Guess we're coming out of the whole thing. Another one we have here. This demonstration, you can see right here. The projector is in the back of it. Of course, it's dark with the back of the screen. They have a little light back here. All the lighting you can see reflects off the screen here and here. A surface that reflects an image back at you. This is not good, because that means basically this is potential, any kind of glare that could pop off from anything in the front. It's going to basically disrupt the screen in the front. As you're seeing right there, you can literally see the entire office transferring on the surface. It has to be clean. The only image can come up is the image of the screen itself. You don't want reflections of everybody else bouncing back into your screen. On top of that, consider the fact that it is darker back here, right up in here, and the reason why is because majority of most rear projection screens will have it dark where the projector's sitting at, and the fact that the projector is inside means our technology is still far more advanced. Why? Because we can do this outside. Again, another demonstration, dark environment, projector sitting right here in the background over here, very dark area. Another demonstration here. Again, very dark area. So you have to be able, two things, when you're developing invisible technology or you're buying invisible technology, you have to be able to have a screen that, number one, can absorb all types of light in the environment, because that screen's they're used for commercials. They're mostly used for commercial screens. The average customer doesn't buy an invisible screen. That'll be a commercial. Companies buy those. And companies buy those. That means there's certain requirements they can have in there, because they know a company's going to use it. They can say, hey, you need maybe a 10,000 lumen projector. Company's going to buy 10,000 because that's what's required. Average customer's not going to have a 10,000 lumen projector sitting in their living room, because that's not something you really want to walk across. Unless you have a lens shift system put in, where you're going to raise the projector high to the ceiling and shift the image down, that runs less of a risk of you walking in front of that thing. But who's going to have that kind of power run to begin with? So mostly these are aimed toward companies. Another demonstration again. These are both all dark environments. And again, projectors, I guarantee you, in these environments are probably about 3,000, 4,000 lumen projectors. Which I don't know why you would need a projector that high powered if you're going through an invisible screen. Now, that's us right over there. Yeah, we show up on here. We've been developing invisible technology for a very long time. Question I need to ask those that are questioning us on invisible technology: where were you 10 years ago? You weren't around 10 years ago. We're making this stuff. You think we just started on this? Man, we're making this stuff for years. We just have now an enhancement that can go outside. We never had one that went outside before. Now, if you've seen this demonstration right here, rear projection technology again, and as you can see, dark environment. That's usually where they stick them at, because again, the projector is going to diminish by the time it makes contact with that screen. And mind you, light is transferring through the screen at the same time. They can't darken this environment too much, but unfortunately sometimes they have to, because you have light transferring here and light transferring here and back and forth, and that basically tears up the projector. That's why they make the projectors have high lumen counts, to be to deal with the lighting that's in the environment. I know all this stuff. I studied this stuff for years. So if you just pick out something, go, oh look, there's a guy right there has the same thing he has. No, he wouldn't have the same thing he has. In order to say that you have a technology that reads sunlight, you literally have to have multiple demonstrations showing this from the door. And what makes our technology different from other screens, that we can eat direct sunlight. We can actually go outside and operate in direct sunlight. They can't. You see the size of that projector that's hitting that small surface? That's overkill. That's definitely overkill. With the screen being as clear as it is, the reason why they shot it on an angle here, because if you were to stand in front of it, you would see that lamp glare right there push right through that screen. See, the thing about it is, well, our technology does it. I don't know about anybody else's. If we take a high-end projector and stick it behind one of our screens are able to cancel out the lamp glare even when the surface is crystal clear. And that's something I figured out when I was watching a demonstration outside. We took a 1,000-lumen projector and pierced it through a clear, and the lamp glare disappeared, but the image pushed through crystal clear, which that screen just showed me something different I didn't think it could do. Just like in here, we did a test. We ran to find out how, we had to find out, and in an environment with 24,000, what is the minimum that we can push through a screen, which now we found out 300 lumens is all it takes for us to push through a screen, frontwards. Backwards, and we're putting the projector behind it, it's 50 lumens. So we can operate in an environment at 50 lumens at 24,000 in the ceiling, where, keep in mind, these screens can't do it. On top of that, in our demonstrations, our screens have a halo system installed in. So the halo system we have on our screen is roughly 6,000 to 24,000 K of LED lighting, which means can push through the surface and we can still read images on the opposite side with no problem. None of these screens have a 12,000 LED light system anywhere near them. Not alone the lighting that we connect near our screens. So I can tell right from the door, if we were to take one of these screens in for testing, they would not survive well. Look at the size and the caliber of the projector they're using in the demonstration. Again, it's easy to do a see-through demonstration when you're using a projector that size. That's why there's no challenge. That's probably about 2,000 to 3,000 lumens that's hitting the surface of that size. That really should be on 50 to 300 lumens, and look how dark the desk is. Yeah, that tells me everything right there. That's all the information I need to see right from there. Another demonstration on rear projection. If you notice right here on the demonstration, you will see that they're shooting it on an angle. See right here, this spot right here? That one spot, looks like they're really closely. That's the lamp flare triggering off. So if you bought this, what happens is that when that projector is, you're going to see this blinding light pushing through that's going to ruin the image that you're seeing in front of you. That's why they're shooting it on the angle. If you notice any place else around the screen, you don't see that bright glare, but only there where the projector's sitting. So you got to know your stuff. A person who is in the field of transparent technology would have picked that up. A person who wasn't, you would have never saw it. You would have got home, hooked that thing up, hit it with a projector, like, oh my goodness, you just seen this glare, push this blinding glare, pushing through the screen, and it would have disrupted that. And what would you do? Most people try to put it in eco mode, it doesn't work. Most people try to go with lower lumens, it doesn't work. Glare is glare, it's going to push you either way. The screen has to have a way to cancel it out. That's what you see right here. If you look around here, this is a lamp glare right there. If you stood in front of that, you would have saw this right here blinding in the middle. That's why if you look at any area around it, you don't see that glare. It's only right there. See? Now, somebody going out to go shop for a screen just learned something new today. And those people who thought they knew that they could just take any screen off YouTube and say, hey, look, we got the same thing. You don't know jack at all, period. First things first, again, a visible technology takes tons of videos. Lots of them. You have to show them in different angles. You have to stand in front of the screen. You have to be in back of the screen. You have to show how it operates on lower lumen projectors. All that stuff. And most importantly, how do they operate outside? Now, if you have to be inside to do this, this is great and all, but still, it doesn't take on our technology. We go at 50. That's a massive drop. There's nothing left of a projector once it's hit with sunlight at 50 lumens. There's nothing left of it. There isn't any sunlight out there. There's nothing left. That projector is not 50 lumens. Perfect example. The background of the screen. See how dark it is back there? Yeah, that tells me at the end of the day, if any light were to transfer to the screen, it would disappear. And they're probably using a high-powered projector. Most likely to kill the lens shift, since you're not seeing it in the corner. So the light, you're not seeing the glare in the corner. They have the projector up really high, and they're shifting the image down, which means that cancels out the lamp glare altogether. That's why if you see bigger screens in front of you, you can't figure out where the lamp glare is at. Actually, if you look at the projector's up really high, and they're using a lens shift to bring the image down. It means that the image is here, the glare is up there. See? And that's why I said people who claim that they know invisible technology, they'll explain this stuff to you. You know why? They don't know what they're doing. They have no idea. Like Rogers. Rogers claimed that he had invisible technology. There was no information on this thing. You know how you could have wrecked someone's surface? You know how expensive any form of transparent surface is depending on the size of this surface? Just say a storefront window. Extremely expensive. Say somebody had a piece of plexiglass about that big. How much money a piece of plexiglass does that cost? And it's not reversible. You damage this thing, you can't fix it. It ain't like one of these screens right here, front projection. You make a little mark, you paint over it, it's gone. No, whatever's on here, it's transparent to the other side. You will definitely see it. If your formula does not apply clean enough, which means a clean transfer has to show a white level, and the white level has to come up clean. If you can't produce that, then that means there's going to be a problem with that surface. If you have stuff in there that doesn't break down properly, and it comes up clunky, little powdered bits, whatever, that's going to transfer to the opposite side of that screen. It has to be a clean transfer. Got to know this stuff. And rollers? Heck no. You can't go out of the screen like you got to be sprayed in. Any professional, anybody will tell you in the day, you never roll these screens in, ever. They have to be all sprayed in. Any contact with the screen causes imperfection to the opposite side or to the front side of the screen. Because mind you, this screen, you can put the projector at either side. So either side is going to show that imperfection. Got to know what you're doing. Here we go, another demonstration here in the dark. And on an angle. They shot it on an angle. That's the problem. You can't shoot an angle because the lamp glare, you have to see if that lamp glare is going to push through. All these are inside. This one right here, I actually checked out this screen right here. The problem with pictures, at the end of the day, you don't know if they're Photoshop. That's another problem. That's why we shoot all videos. That's why you rarely see pictures on invisible screens from us. You will mostly see lots and lots of videos. Because you have to shoot videos on these things. There's so many ways you can Photoshop and get around these things and say you actually have something. The bad thing about Photoshop is sooner or later you're going to have to show off the screen. Dark environment. See the lights in the background? Not making no contact with the screen. Like I said, lights transferring back and forth through this surface. So that means since lights transferring back and forth through it, that means this screen has a higher risk of washing out than one of these screens we have over here. Dark environment again over here. Dark environment. Reason why we consider that a dark environment, we're outside doing it. That's why. So, compared to what we do and everybody else, the fact that we can go outside, I can go outside right now, 50 lumen projector, operate outside in direct sunlight, pour a blazing fireplace through, because that's why they show you flames, because the flames are kind of hard to pull off, especially when you're outside. You got to be to show not only the flames, the fire logs, the back, you got to show all that detail, especially the girl dancing in the video, you can literally see her detail in the video. The Apple logo, you can see the detail of the Apple logo pushing through, and we do it at 50 lumens outside in direct sunlight. That's the difference. So for the people at the end of the day, they're saying, oh, look, it's just, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't. You're just ranting because you want to show that you have something at the end of the day that backs it. We don't have it. Trust me. I did the research. I literally have people that I pay online to scour the internet to find something to match your stuff. Now, if I went all the way over to Ireland to pick up a screen called Smarter Surface to bring it down here for testing, that will show you that I do things at the end of the day that you don't do. Because you won't even go near any certified. They won't go near a certified screen to save their soul. How many demonstrations do you see on a gray screen versus a certified? How many? None. They don't go near those things. You know why? Because a diamond screen, even a 1.4 black diamond, which is a much older screen, will destroy your screen. And they can operate in fully lit environments. You can't be in a fully lit environment with a gray screen. They don't register. So how are you going to be in the same environment with a screen that can operate with a 0.8 screen versus a screen that supposedly have a 2.0, which doesn't have it? Again, as I told you before, the Black Diamond originals have a 1.4, and they can operate in environments that, again, gray screens can't. And I would know that from experience because that's the screen. The 1.4 Black Diamond is the exact same screen that took out my products. So I know your stuff doesn't work. That's how I know. Here we are, another dark environment. I love these things. And then what they'll do is they'll put lights in the background. They'll put a light here, they'll put a light here, a light here, give off the illusion it's light in the environment. We all know that's dark at the end of the day. So, you see a demonstration like this? That means the technology we engineered, they will be able to show that off in a full environment. Heck, they can show it off outside if they want to in the morning hours. And that's the problem with rear projection technology. And the companies that invest tons of money into this technology, which now we stand on, that they can't get the screen to operate outside. In fact, it also costs them thousands of dollars for expensive projectors to do so. That's mapping technology right there. As you can tell, there's no way to get a projector to hit those small areas just like that. That's all mapping technology. Now, if you're going to be in the field talking about you know anything about rear projection, you're going to have to know mapping technology, which, again, you don't own the equipment and you don't know. And I've talked to people. I've talked to all types of people in the business on this type of technology. As a matter of fact, we even got paid $20,000 just to develop 20 ounces of this stuff for somebody for testing, for something they were building. I don't know what it was, but 20 grand. This is a big, big field. It pays a ton of money. So, another demonstration in the dark. Now, can you imagine right here? See that screen we have here? Can you imagine a museum, art technology in there with an AI in there explaining history? And they can do that in a fully lit environment. Like they can do it in their parking lot. Can you imagine that? So instead of dealing with darkening the environment in the museum, you can literally lighten that entire environment up. I could drop screen paints right now and just concentrate on that and just make that instead. But that technology is starting off at $2 grand. That's the price we're going for. At what is it? 434? No, 24 by 36 is around $2,000. And that's for the clear. The black is going to be separate. Here we are, another demonstration right here. I know all this stuff. I watch all these demonstrations. I have to research everything that I do before I put my feet into it to know exactly what I'm getting myself into. And 10 years ago, we had this technology, because I can go back and show you videos 10 years ago of us developing an invisible technology using the exact same projector I have on my desk right now. The only difference is we can take that thing outside and produce it right to the image. Like we can take a 50 outside and do it. We couldn't do it back then. We didn't have the technology and the capability to do it. There you go, right there. Now you see how dark the environment is? When your environment can literally pick up a light that leaves a pool of light, that shows me your environment's too dark. That shouldn't even exist. But again, like I said, we're outside. That's not even visible, that's just wrap around. Same thing, see? Same dark environment, all of them. They all have it. So, let's go over to, let's see. Transparent screens that operate in direct sunlight. Let's see if they put it right. Transparent screens that operate in direct sunlight. None of these are showing any pictures of direct sunlight. Now I said direct sunlight. None of these are showing pictures of direct sunlight. All these are inside, so that would not be direct sunlight. Rear projection screens that operate in direct sunlight. All of these demonstrations, not one. I said direct sunlight. Guess who pops up? We do. We did it. That's our technology operating in direct sunlight. That wouldn't be the first one. The Smoke 10 would have been the first one that had the ability to show that it could do it. Because that's when we first found out that one of the formulas we made had the ability to be able to take in sunlight. That was the first one. But it took the sunlight in using a projector, which is a Christie LW400, which is the one I got over there. It took it in on that. The second one we used a more powerful projector. We used 5200 lumens. We used the Sony VPL FH36 in that demonstration. Now, you see the interesting thing about this technology? See how you can't see an image there? And it's weird because that surface right there, I just want to throw it in the trash. Because I thought that we had so much stuff we're working on, thinking we don't need this. That was made out of the spirit of the moment. It wasn't something that was researched and studied or whatever. It was made out of the spirit of the moment. I was bored one day. Lord bless me with that right there. And that was made. That's why it looks like that. It was just rolled on. It was just made out of the spirit of the moment. It sat on top of my refrigerator for 2 weeks. I was thinking about throwing it in the trash, and I got bored again. And I'm sitting there thinking, you know what? I'm just going to shoot an image and let's see what it does. And it pushed up right near the window. And I'm like, what the freak? And it did it again. And again, I pushed it closer to the window. I put it in the window, went outside and looked. And I was like, oh, shoot. This is invisible technology. Yeah. But in the back of my window, there's shade back there. So I really couldn't get an idea if the thing really could absorb sunlight the way it did. So that's why, being at the carrying place, we got the opportunity to use an actual storefront window to test this thing out. So again, we were able to get what we had to get completed. All we had to do was have some kind of footage showing that this thing laying against a actual storefront window and producing. So that projector has to be inside when we're doing the video demonstration. Now, the interesting thing about the rear projection technology, if sun's striking it and going through it, the screen doesn't show up on this side. It shows up on the opposite side. That's what we figured out in here. And here what I was looking at, I said, well, how much lumens does it take to get the screen to kick? It takes 300 lumens for our screen to fire up in here in front projection, but in rear projection, it takes only 50. Which these projection screens we have right here, which I just showed you, can't operate at 50 lumens in their environment. Only we can do that. So that means that my technology, you just can't grab an invisible screen and say, oh yeah, you got the same thing. No, you're not even close. And they have a ton of pictures. We have tons of videos on it. So that's something you have to be able to back this up. So you see that projector? That's a Sony DPO FH36 or 5200 lumens. So we went from a 5200 lumen projector to a 50 lumen projector outside with the projector having no covering. You see that right there, that sidewalk right there? You see how bright that is? That's literally where we operate at now, at a 50 lumen projector. That means the projector itself is bathed in sunlight. And we can operate out there. And you know why we can operate out there? Well, we could have got that technology either way, but we got it much faster. God does everything in due time. There's a reason for everything that God does. But when I got in the middle of the floor, and I sat there and said that if my technology was such a scam at the day, may the Lord out me as who I am, our technology jumped by a ton. Gaming technology, everything is advanced now. We got so much technology, it's not even funny. Literally, I think advanced so fast, it obsoleted the Omega. You see that portable screens we had, screens on the go? It obsoleted that right there, because now we don't even need that thing anymore, because we could take a portable screen, a flexible one that you can roll up or carry in your bag, and you can set it up with the magnetic legs and watch your TV. Portable screens on the go, go anywhere they want to go. That technology does it now. We have jumped leap years already. So the Omegas don't even exist anymore because that thing took over everything. So now when we made the statement and God showed at the end of the day that our products do what they do, and showed at the end of the day we're doing things that no one else is doing, now the crying and whining is, let's go find individual pictures of other screens, send it back to him and say, hey, look, we got the same thing. No, you don't. I researched all these companies again. It tells me at the end of the day you're desperate. That's what it says. Companies don't do that. Companies will contact us and say, hey, look, at the end of the day, you want either, how much is it going to cost? What do we need to invest? Are you looking to sell out? That's what companies do. Haters at the end of the day go back and get little pictures of stuff they know nothing about. You're picking up something you don't have any information about. You don't know anything about it. You don't know how it functions, how it works, nothing. And just posting, look, it does the same thing. Experts see that, they know you're just a troll. That's all you are. That's why we do that's why we operate aside. So pretty much at the end of the day, you're just challenging God's technology. That's what you're doing. But you know how that's going to end up. Now, to me walking outside, look at it, right out there, doo, 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 out there in that sunlight. Wow, it's been a hot summer, boy, I'll tell you. Boom. See? Does that hurt at the end of the day for you people who thought at the end of the day that you were going to come out there and show me a bunch of pictures? I knew you guys are desperate. When you're sending stuff like that, you're desperate. It's like trying to stab somebody in the dark. Oh, there you go. That's at 52. And now we got it at 50 lumens. We don't even have to be in there anymore. Because one of the problems I had, the thing about this beautiful thing about the Lord is when the Lord blesses you with something, He will give you every means necessary to get the job done. Just so you know who we work for. So the problem I have with that screen, number one, lugging around a projector that heavy would have been extremely heavy for what I got to do now. So no, I would have to take lifts here and there, and I have to go to storefronts. That's what I thought I was going to have to do, and go to places and rent out places with large windows to show it off. That's how it first started off. But when I made that announcement and the Lord blessed us, no more. I can stick everything in a little bag and walk all over Allentown and show an image of a 50 lumen projector pulling up anywhere I want. I don't need these buildings anymore. That means I don't have to pay the money to rent these units out because we don't need it. The entire world is my YouTube playground. I can go anywhere I want to go and produce at 50 lumens, which we proved, and multiple demonstrations, more demonstrations than anyone's ever proved right now. So with that being said, that means that the Lord took all this away from us now. I don't have to spend any money anymore to rent any places out because I can go wherever I want to go. And what better place to do in a demonstration on your ambient projection, inside or outside? Now, if I do it inside, I got to do crazy stuff like this. Put halo systems on the top, bottom, the lamps, because we got to show that even inside, we are pushing more than the average screen. 24,000, lots of light in the ceiling. Heck, if this thing was wrapped around in windows, it'd be fantastic for us. That'd be the next place. But anyway, as I said before, but while we're in here, we have to make up for the windows that are not in here. So having that, we're the only one in the office that has one of these in here. This is the best blessing I've ever got in my entire life. Well, I've had other blessings, but it's a blessing with this office. That's why everything you have tried has failed. And why has failed? Because everything we have is through divine spirit. You're not more powerful than God, but for some reason you believe this. And you know nothing about rear projection technology. You don't know a thing about it. If I get you, I'm going to have you, that forum site we're going to have, walk in there. I'll grill you in there. I'll ask you all types of questions. You couldn't even answer me that. I'm even going to have a forum on in there about range gain, fake gains. Mr. Rogers, you're going to put on blast because you said you knew invisible technology and you knew gain. We'll put you in there. Crow's mixes will be in there. We'll show basically the ship back. Be careful of, we're going to different topics. Be careful of untested paints. So you'll be in there because we did a ship back. We shipped you back your own stuff and you didn't take it. I made it for $15. You didn't make it. So in this forum sites we're now locking into, I just got Projector Central. I'm locked into them. ABS forums, locked into them. We'll have these topics in it. We'll talk about this. On top of that, we'll show our game versus everybody else. I just loaded on 2 different forum sites when I just came on here. So this screen is on the window. The screens you saw in those demonstrations, the screens weren't sitting in the window. The screens were inside in a dark environment, an environment that was controlled. You can't control lighting in an environment when your screen is plastered to a window and there's sunlight slamming into it. It doesn't work that well. But look at that, 52. Now for me, now back then, when I did 52, I said, wow, well 52 was great. The fact that we got a screen to operate in direct sunlight. But now we don't even need this anymore. The Lord allowed us to break free of this. So that formula that we have now is different than this now. And that's 15%. This was somewhere around 60% completed on that one. So when you call yourself trying to make an invisible technology, the problem you have is you have to know what you are doing. You can't just take a clear surface and just stick it in front of a printer. Look, I have invisible. It doesn't mean jack at the end of the day. What type of projectors are you using on that? You know, different clarities and screens on basis they're darker or lighter, or maybe different colors, which we're going to have pretty soon. You're going to have to be to show how the projector is going to be to function. It's going to operate on ultra short throw, it's going to be long throw, lens shift capabilities. You don't know anything about venue projectors, lens shift capability technology. You got a lot of problems on your hands, because what if somebody says, hey, I need you to set the screen up for me, I need you, what would you recommend? What are you going to say? Oh, it's a see-through screen. You can see through it. No, that's not what I asked. I already know that already. We're on it. What do you recommend for what type of projector? There's certain type of projectors with certain shades of screens. So what are you using? You don't know what you're talking about. See, there you go. I've asked questions about people about the different categories of rear and front projection technology. You can't answer. What's your operation of basically the screen's lowest lumen count that you can operate in a fully lit environment? As you're in a fully lit environment, how much lighting are we having the fully lit per square inch in the environment? We can't answer any of that. What size is the screen? If you're running off a Pico projector, how much lighting can you have in the environment and the size of the screen? Minimize. What's the minimal screen size you can have on a Pico projector and the amount of lighting in the environment in which the projector is seeing? See, right now, if your mind just went blank when I said that, that means you don't know nothing. Customers, at the end of the day, are learning. It's a learning process for them. That's what they're learning. That's why we come here and talk like this to teach you. People who think they know stuff, your mind just went blank. I know that's why you're mad and just left a few minutes ago, because you're mad and upset and frustrated, because I'm right. I just lived it. I live in your head rent-free daily. Daily. I can say certain things you wouldn't even know what I'm talking about. But yet you're supposed to be in the field. There you go. Got to know what you're talking about. Now, all those people who got on YouTube, and this is the old tradition, who talked about ambient light rejection technology, now you're against our ambient light rejection technology. So how are you going to talk about a screen that's designed to absorb light in your environment when we're doing it outside? Or in the lighting we have in here, which an ambient light rejection screen won't survive in. Yeah. I'm going to take a certify outside, probably Saturday, most likely probably Sunday. Sunday we got a good day, no rain. I'm going to take a certified screen outside. Let's see if it can read outside at 50 to 300 lumens. We can't tell you what screen it is, but it is going to be a certified. Which means a screen with a massive gain attached to it, if it doesn't read outside, that would mean that the technology we engineer would be far more advanced, which they would know that automatically from the door. But we like to back things up, because that's what we do. So, there you go. Explaining 101 easily. About rear projection technology. So next time you want to grab some image off Google and go, hey, we have the same thing? Yeah, just watch the video and get a little education. Crack books. Books are very important to crack. That's why they make them. Books are for you to learn things from. You want to be a bull in a china shop, you have to constantly keep embarrass you on this level. This is how sad it gets. This is what I'm talking about by YouTube. This is what I'm talking about. This is the main thing what I'm talking about. I don't mind other people asking questions. We know the difference between somebody asking a question that's intelligent and a person asking a question because they're just an idiot. Because you're just mad and angry and upset. You want to show at the end of the day you're doing the same thing we're doing. No. That little square piece, I told you I got people that scour the internet. I know everything that's going on. Everything. So that little square piece and that little channel you have at the net has my company's name on it. We know about that already. It's already been filed. But that little square piece, the Asian guy sitting there on a little green leaf pushing through a screen, yeah, it's Photoshop, by the way. Company doesn't even exist. And from the demonstrations, when we search a company out, we're looking for tons of demonstrations showing the screen absorbing sunlight outside. And if you type in direct sunlight, only we come up. If it was anybody else, they would have shown already. Yeah, I know. So no. Another problem? Do sitting in front of the screen. If you're sitting, so you're sitting in the back of the screen. If you're sitting in the back of the screen, where's the image coming from? There has to be some back there. There's no dials on that plastic surface he's showing, so it's not a TV. So where is the image coming from? Because he's sitting in back of the screen. You didn't pick that up, did you, when you posted the video, did you? You're an idiot. That's why we call them stupid. See, I literally just had this conversation yesterday about why we call them stupid. Literally has a picture. I'm talking about this is Neo something screen. It's supposed to compete with our technology. Then they show our screen outside saying, oh, we figured out how it's done. No, buddy, you're an idiot. Number one, the guy's inside and the screen we have is outside. Number two, we're showing a projector at 50 lumens. He doesn't show a projector at all. Number three, he's standing behind the back of the screen, which means if it's rear projection, the projector, if it's hitting the screen, it can't make contact because its body's in the way. And since there's no buttons and dials on the plastic surface that he showed, means it has no kind of TV, no kind of broadcast technology in it to allow you to broadcast an image. There's nothing there. It's just a clear surface and a leaf on it with him sitting in the back of it going, look, I got a screen. With a Photoshop green screen in the back, a green screen in the background, you can tell. Yeah, I analyzed it that quick. Gee whiz Louise. This is why we call you idiots. There you go. See? You're king idiots. Who do you think I've been in this field for years. Let me show you something to educate you even better. Let's see how far we go back in invisible technology. Where we stand at. Oh, that's my screen outside. That's the first people to do demonstrations outside. This would be us. In the park. On the test surface. Oh, and by the way, for the person, we already know who you are, Williams, because your IP address was pinged. Just so you know, that whole thing, it's already been taken care of. All that the page was duplicated, everything was done. But also too, so you understand this from the door, that you don't know anything about invisible technology. You don't even know what you're doing right now. Tell you honestly, you probably technically don't even know where you're at. You probably don't have a grasp on reality, which you do not have. Clearly, we can see that by what we've received in photos. You're not there, man. Now, that surface right there is called a sample test. There's a sample test sheets. I've done this at 150 inches through a window. And that screen's small because it's portable, because we can take it anywhere we need to go to do these demonstrations. That's the whole purpose, to go anywhere we want over Allentown. Later on, we'll move up to the bigger surface, which we have here, which you don't understand business at all. But I explain to them how business works. So you know that bag I have over there? That allows me to carry that surface anywhere I want comfortably. The bag I have over here allows me to carry all my projectors in there. And as of today, I'm going to be putting in an order in for my buddy system, because I'm trying to charging power station, and I'm trying to figure out which one to get. What are we going to take outside? What are we going to be using outside? We don't need 1,000 lumens. We just figured that out. We don't need 1,000 lumen projector. That's way too much. So we want to keep it at outside at 350, 300, and 500 lumens. That's as far as we're going, because I want to have that record of being able to show a screen in direct sunlight. So that's doing a demonstration outside at 50 lumens. When the person in their demonstration was at a projector at roughly 2,000 to 3,000 in the dark. Every demonstration I just showed you on the outside screen, where the screen's at, inside in the dark. And the ones that claim to be outside, they're not outside. Sunlight's across the street. So that means that that surface right there, if it was hit with a projector of 1,000 lumens, would operate easily out there with no problem whatsoever. Fantastic for tailgate parties. It's a test surface. That's what they're used for, so we can operate more freely. Now, when we get to the bigger surfaces, why we put the investment in for the buddy system. The buddy system will allow me, I call it the buddy system, or power station, will allow me to operate now my machines and go anywhere I want. Right now, I'm locked down to the 50 I like using, but I want to show up that 300 lumen really badly, but we can't find outlets. So that system will allow me to take it, plug it up, do a demonstration here, do a demonstration here, do a demonstration here. I can go anywhere I want now. With that 50 lumen, the fact that we can fire that thing up anywhere we want. And I got to explain this to the companies real quick. If you're going to make the statement that you can operate in direct sunlight, you have to be in actual direct sunlight to do that demonstration, which means you have to be in the middle of a sunny parking lot to pull that off. And using projectors of 1,000 lumens, 2,000 lumens, 3,000, even at 3,000 is overkill. because now you're trying to make up for what they can't do it, and then you're trying to fix that problem. In our demonstration at the 52, and I showed you how the Lord bless our technology, we did drop it in there at 3,000 lumens. It wouldn't read. We can get to read at 3,000. The 52 is the only one that picked up. So that's why in the specification sheets, we put down that you have to use 52s and up in there, which is actually quite low for projectors that operate on that level. And direct sunlight will be way over 52. But now, we don't even need that anymore, because God went in and took care of it. So, who has the highest authority on the planet? Who has the last say on the planet? That'd be God, right? Yep, that'd be God. Because, God forbid if you're on a plane and your wheel pops off that sucker or wing comes off of it, who are you praying to? You're not praying to anybody else but God at the end of the day, because he's the one that can handle that situation right there and then, right? All right then. So that means God has the final say in all things. Since I sat there in the middle of that floor and I made that statement to my Lord and Savior, and we're out there doing that now instead of on the 5200 lumen inside, shows that my Lord has spoken and basically made his judgment right there. Our technology comes from God. And all you naysayers and haters out there, at the end of the day, God just put you on blast. Put you and the devil on blast, because that's what you were using at the end of the day. You're trying to make our products seem like something that they're not. So it's right there. Proof. And then when you get beaten down in that, then you come back with something else from Satan at the end of the day. Oh, look, here's nobody, not even close. Now you're embarrassing yourself. I gotta get the spikes too. You literally got to get spikes, because we gotta spike that thing down. I'm gonna do another demonstration right out there on that large surface right there at 300 lumens, right out there, and all that light. 300 lumens and 500 lumens. Got a 500 lumen QME coming in. Those things are small. I would have to take them. Yeah, they're small. Just put them in a box and poof, that's it. My power station is 200 lumens. That's all we need. Most people go out there, they got power way beyond that, because they got to operate heavy machines out there. They have no choice. We're out there with a little time. My power system is about that small. It's tiny. And I can use that to power those projectors and do a demonstration out there with no problem. So this is a huge breakthrough to people in the business world, because that means that technology operates here at 50 lumens. Imagine what they do inside of a building. So instead of you being inside of a building, you got to darken the environment and all that crap. You can operate that anywhere you want. And that means that using it for commercial advertisement, which again is a multi-billion-dollar industry, we're going to be a part of that. If we're going to be engineering the technology for these big companies like Apple, which we keep showing the logo off, and I'm planning to send them some demonstrations on their Apple logo and how we can display it anywhere we want to go. That's why we keep showing the Apple logo over and over again, because we're basically showing them those videos at how we can take your logo and we can put it anywhere you want it to go. You know how big an Apple contract is? That's $1 million contract, probably way over that. That means there'll be the inside stores, there'll be to advertise commercials on other upcoming phones and commercials, whatever they want. Anywhere they want to start. Heck, even if they wanted to, they can actually shape that technology to look like a giant apple and use projector mapping to project a commercial right through it. See? Big possibilities for it. Now, that's not going to be hard to sell. I got a friend of mine who works for Apple. He says, when you're ready and you get everything done, I'll help you with the presentation. They'll definitely buy it. They'll definitely buy it. So all we're just waiting right now is just for our documents to come back. That's all we're waiting for, and we're good to go. And as for that technology also too being used as a screen for the average user, that they can use it for tailgate parties. You know, we're paying for expensive monitors. If it rains up there, big deal. Your screen basically won't take any of the damage. You're having pool parties. No one's swimming in the pool at nighttime with a bunch of kids. Extremely dangerous. You can have all in the morning, early in the morning, show cartoons, whatever you want, right outside in your backyard. Can you imagine that? So you don't want to watch the game inside. Go outside on the deck. You got a 100-inch, 150-inch, whatever you want. And you can go out there and you can watch a full football game outside at 9 o'clock in the morning. And that's why they're frustrated. They're frustrated because at the end of the day, they couldn't cancel out the dream. You couldn't cancel out the dream. You couldn't have canceled out the dream 10 years ago. You can't cancel out the dream. This comes from God at the end of the day. That's who you're fighting a battle with at the end of the day. You don't fight a battle with me. You fight a battle with God. That's who you're fighting with. That's why you can't win. That's why everything we do is flawless. And it is. Because it comes from God. I just sat here and did a video in here and said, I'm going outside. I went over to a park area. They had a nice little awning area, nice little roof area. Because someone was asking me about what if I could do something on their picnic benches and stuff like that. You know, some people have those big areas they rent out. Oh, I forgot about that. There is an area down there that you can rent out that's huge. I'm going to go pop down there and do a video over there. Because some people were asking me about that. So they rent out those picnic bench areas, and they wanted to know how the screen would look over there. So might as well go over there and check it out, right? That's going to be fun. And that's an area over there. It's like, of course, it blocks a lot of the sunlight due to the fact that, you know, they got people in there. But you know what that screen would look like in there? Yeah. There you go. And again, no expensive projectors. That's the beautiful thing about it. No expensive projectors. Transparent, invisible screens. So alone, that technology by itself, if I were to just drop all the screen paint and just concentrate on that, that makes us a billionaire. It'll pay us so much money. You know how many companies out there can use that technology? You got Nike, you got Timberland, all those big companies. You got Versace, Gucci. All those companies can use our technology to advertise their wares. Billion-dollar technology. And they're not trapped. They don't require expensive projectors. They can advertise right in their parking lot if they want to. See, and think of the big picture. Those are the big customers at the end of the day. Companies that pay millions for that technology. Now you're sitting there and freaking what's it? What store was in? Oh my goodness, that a white screen in there. That screen was so washed that I couldn't even see what was going on in there. Yeah, and also that other restaurant we saw, they can remove that screen. They put a panel system in there. You can put it right next to the window and watch your movie right through it. Especially that black technology is a beast. Yep, stick it right next to a window and put your projector behind it and boop, right through. That's why we're talking about when you saw the black screen outside and the image pushed to the other side, they're being developed for ultra short throw setup and long throws too also. But imagine putting your ultra short throw right next to a window with that screen right there. Yeah, that image would push right through and you can look out the window at the same time. While you ultra short those screens will become obsolete. So it's R gain versus ambient light rejection. Who do you think will win that one? Us. We have the more powerful technology. Now, as I said before, starting screen is going to be about $2,000. But that invisible technology does more than just a TV screen. It does advertising and all that. It's considered the fact it's being marketed for multiple uses, not just for home theater. It does more than just home theater. The black technology is something different. We don't have a price range for that yet. Let me see. Oh. Bum, 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 bum. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. But then Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles in my head. Yep, wrong keyboard. No, this is my field. This is for the naysayers. This is for you to understand exactly how much knowledge I know in this field. Next time you take a little cutout surface and send it to me at the end of the day and say, hey, we have the same thing, crack a book, go to my channel and type in transparent invisible screens, and you see the level of where I was developing technology on. Now, you see this right here? You see the date on this? I know my monitor's dirty. 9 years ago. 9 years ago, I developed that screen right there. It's a crystal clear screen. That screen got me paid $20,000 from a guy who came in who wanted to figure out exactly how to do that for a hologram technology, which we engineered for him. That's when I went to Disney World. So I figured, I don't know what to do with it. Let's go to Disneyland. That's why I went to Disneyland with 20,000. That's how I know that companies and individuals pay a lot of money for that technology. And that was 20 grand for somewhere between 32 ounces. 20,000. So when I tell you at the end of the day that the technology we have now that is far more advanced than what we had back then is way over the $20,000 mark. So if we charge $2,000 for 4 of those panels, that's a huge, massive, super affordable. Because I got people right now that give me about somewhere between $7,000, $5,000 per square on that technology. Here we go. Black technology. Got to have videos. You got to back this stuff up. This was done roughly 5 years ago. Black technology again. Invisible technology. This was done 5 years ago. These are inside. If you notice, all the demonstrations are inside. And now we're showing up the first invisible technology and black technology that can be used outside on projectors way lower than the demonstrations that we were doing. Demonstration, another one, showing that we can have backlit displays on the back of the screen. It doesn't interfere with the screen. That one was 9 years ago. Where were you guys at 9 years ago? Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't exist. This is AR, ambient light projection, front projection, transparent technology. That was 6 years ago. Where were you guys at? Really, seriously, when I was developing all this stuff. This was an invisible technology that I engineered for a church. The church was historical. They didn't want to change anything by any color. So we developed an invisible contrast technology that we are using today for a church, so that way they can show an image on their brown walls. So you see that box that's brown right there? So the image shows that they can still pick up color and contrast in high white levels, even though this wall is going to be brown. And that was developed 11 years ago. Boy, where were you guys at 11 years ago? Oh, you weren't even thought of. You were nowhere to be found 11 years ago. Where were you at? I mean, you claim you know me now. You know all my stuff today. Yeah, I know my screen's awfully dirty. I don't plan to clean it. It's a monitor. See? So where were you? But yet you know my stuff. You know who I am. So how would you be to claim that I am all these people if you didn't know me? I go that far back. See, this is where those lawsuits are going to get nasty. Because if you're saying that I was a scammer, then that means you would have known me all the way back 11 years ago, which you didn't. Yeah. As I told you before, it's not going to go well in the courtroom. There's an archives a mile long. This is when I was in a little tiny rented room. That's why you got to be really careful about things you say out of your mouth. That's a transparent technology. So what that technology was engineered for, like I said, the church had an issue with it. They didn't want to change the walls out. But again, where were you guys at? Oh, here we are again. Another visible technology right here. This is a screen we developed right here in visible technology. This was roughly 9 years ago. Where were you at 9 years ago? Oh, you didn't exist 9 years ago. So how would you know about me and what I do if you weren't around 9 years ago? See, that's what sound you're going to make when we hit the courtroom. It's going to cost you a lot of money, gentlemen. It's going to cost you a lot of money. And I am taking time off your life. I am going to do it. Because it shows that we've been around for years developing this technology. And for you to come out all of a sudden and say, oh, he's a scammer, blah, blah, blah. You do know how far we reach back, right? You know, we have videos showing us testing our stuff back from years ago. So question, what my lawyer is going to ask you, where were you 9 and 10 years ago when Mr. Bird was developing this technology to make accusations that you have made today on him? This is where it's going to cost you time. That's the very important question you're going to have to answer, because this means the difference between a fraud charge in federal court of you getting 1 year in jail or spending the full 30. There you go. Kind of wish you never said it, right? There you go. You get plenty of time for that when you're sitting in a holding cell and the rest of your life is passing you by along with everybody else. Everybody else will be doing what they want to do at the end of the day. You just won't. You have plenty of time to think about that one. For those you don't know, real quick, yeah, we're suing a bunch of people. Not only that, there's some people going to be facing some very serious, lengthy jail time for making a lot of false accusations about our company, and they claim they knew everything about us. And I've got videos that date back to 9 and 10 years ago where were you at? So that's what my lawyer is going to ask you in that courtroom. Where were you at when Mr. Burr was developing visible technology 10 to 11 years ago? If you claim you know him. So that question is very important because, again, that means whether you're going to spend no time or you're going to spend 30 years in there. Your life is going to be in your hand. You're literally going to be fighting for the lives in the courtroom. All right, we got one here. Invisible technology that we did. This is when I got my first house. Rented my first house. Using a NEC, it's an NEC what? NEC VT 595. Well, that's about 2,000 lumens right there. I know that from the door, so we don't need that anymore. That fan up there. Lights so the fans are on. Now, you see right here? See that light in the background? We have a light in the background piercing through the screen at the same time when the projector is going through. Much like we do today with the technology, but we use those high-powered LEDs. So if you think I just started that, I've been doing that stuff for years. Gentlemen, do you have any idea what you're up against at the end of the day? You're against somebody who has years and years and years and years and years upon years and years and years of knowledge. I know way more than you do. When I say at the end of the day that I'm smarter than you in this field, I don't know about anything else you do, I can't say that. But in this field, when I say I'm more advanced, I'm way beyond you. I was doing those test demonstrations before you ever existed on YouTube. I can back that up in a courtroom any day of the week. That's why you dare not send a lawyer my way. You already know what we do. Yeah, the same light we have here is the same kind of light we have there. And that was a demonstration to show that we can have light transfer through the screen at the same time with the projector pushed through. Now we're way beyond this technology now. Way, way, way behind it. So, question, where were you when I was doing these demonstrations? Of course, you were nowhere to be found because you didn't exist. That's why. So, bottom line is, what my lawyer is going to ask you is, where were you when Mr. Burr was doing these tests? And you know what you're going to say? I wasn't around. So if you weren't around, how would you know who I am and what I'm about? If you're going to label me as a lifetime scammer at the end of the day, how would you know this if you weren't around when he was developing that technology? Be careful how you speak that one, because again, that could mean the difference of that bailiff sitting over there with those handcuffs, of him walking behind you, putting those cuffs on you, and you going away. And then you will never see your family and friends again for a while, a very long while. So be careful how you speak when you get in that courtroom. Because these videos, all these are going to be used against you, showing that I've been around for a very long time, doing a lot of these tests, a lot of these demonstrations, that we now have advancement technology we do today, and you guys made all these claims that was all these bad things. So the question is going to be, did you know me? Same thing for the other one. Did you know me? And if you can't answer that question right, I'm going to tell you from the door what's going to happen. And it's happened before. They're going to put those handcuffs on you. It's going to be a very unpleasant feeling. It's nothing like the feeling that you're not free anymore. At one point you were able, when you got up that day, you were able to go eat, do what you want to do, go outside, sit in the grass. All that's gone now. There's no way to describe that ever to any. Once those cuffs on you, it's a whole change. But you're going to go through that. Because you made some very bad statements about my business. You made statements that my product didn't work. You said I was scamming and ripping people off. So it's a fraud charge. Federal court. That's a 30-year prison sentence. Now you see right here? See how we're looking through the window? See how it's a visible screen there, by the way. It's sitting right in the window. But you can't see it, can you? This is when I was in the house over in 69th Street. Now watch this. But you claim you know my technology. Now, you know what the difference is between here and now? I can take that screen and I can stick that thing in the middle of the street at 50 lumens and read. That's the difference now. And that demonstration was done 6 years ago. So you claim you know me. So yes, people, when you are inquiring about invisible technology, this is why companies come to us and don't go to them, because they don't know what they're doing. Danny talked about many times he knew about invisible technology. Where are your demonstrations at? My demonstrations date back before you existed on YouTube. So where are your demonstrations at, claiming to know what you know? The minute you said roll on, I was like, nope, don't know what he's doing. That'll damage your screen. That'll wreck your screen big time. And you'll be sitting up there with a $4,000 piece of plexiglass that you can no longer use anymore because it's wrecked, because the image is basically pushing off whatever imperfection on one side is transferring to the other side. And you can't scrape that off at all, period. You will damage the screen itself. You'll scratch your screen up. So what are you going to do? I guess you're going to have to take them to court and get that money back. Now that right there is a laser projector. That's a Casio laser projector 720p. Push an image to a black screen. This is our black technology. Now, you see why I sat down in front of it? You know why? Because it cancels out the lamp glare. That's what it does. When you sit in front of a screen, when they do demonstrations, they stand this way or this way to block off that lamp glare. You're supposed to sit right in front of it. There you go. I had to bring it back to the past. Bring it back to the past is showing what we do. What we do. So when you hear me up here having fun and doing this at the end of the day, know what you have gotten yourself into. If you have done something stupid on your YouTube channel, there's a possibility that you're getting serious jail time for committing fraud against my company and massive lawsuits. Consider yourself that you are screwed when you go to court. You know what this is right here? This is a film I developed, a peel-away screen. So if the customer wanted to get rid of the screen, if we're coating it to a piece of glass, they can just easily peel it off and throw it in the trash. I designed that. You ever seen anybody have one of those? They don't. They're the only ones who have it. So before that whole plastic thing that came on with the decals and stuff, we had it first. Because one of the things we got was once we spray this on the glass, how easy can we get it off the glass? So I designed the solution, how to basically pull it off your screen. Just peel it right off when you're done. And there some people, and this is way before that stuff came out called dip. Dip wasn't around when this stuff came out. Because this was around roughly 11 years ago. Oh, to the naysayers at the end of the day, you don't know jack at the end of the day. When I get on camera and I tell you that you don't know jack, I am dead serious. You don't know jack. People think I'm saying that because I'm just bragging. No, you don't know jack at all, period. You don't know anything. Did you even know this stuff even existed? A peel-away screen. So now, do we need it now? No, because now we just coat it onto a surface and just stick it up in your wall. Because we have the wallpaper now. The wallpaper, the ultra thin wallpaper. This stuff is very thin, thinner than the stuff we used to say. I got a company make it for us, and we can attach it on your window. You can advertise right through it. And if you don't want it, you can peel it off. Yep. See my fingers on the other side transferring through? And these are beginning stages of demonstrations and testings from engineering and developing. This goes on for quite some time. There is over roughly, I have 13,000 videos. And keep in mind how many, we get 10,000 videos on visible technology on just about every level you could possibly think of. This is our new stuff right now, we have right now. That's the future technology we have now. So now, for people who think they know stuff, you don't know jack. Because I can go back and show you my archives 11 years ago, 10 years ago, 9 years ago, 6 years ago. I was developing technology before you ever existed. And now we have this. To go anywhere we want projection screen. That can eat through exact sunlight. We conquered sunlight itself, which means that makes that the most powerful game right now in the market. My customers can do whatever they want to do. They can take our technology and they can use it for visual effects for their PC and mods for computers. They can turn their desks into freaking projection screens. And at that, with that invisible technology, they can put a screen anywhere they want in their house with a projector under $200. Can you do that? You can. And I can go back and show my videos dating back years of hard work and research that you can't even show at the end of the day because you don't have it, because you're new. You're newbies. Look at it. Submersible waterproof screens. All this stuff, man. I've been doing this stuff for years, man. This is nothing black, invisible technology. It just goes on and on and on. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look how amazing that is. Look at it. Look at the hard work, the dedication, the drive. You don't have it. If you have it, you could do this. You don't have it. That's how I know you guys will fade out. You won't exist. You don't have the drive. You don't have the stamina. Only we have it. See that? Look at that. That's a new technology right there. Every screen that's sitting right now claiming to have an invisible technology, we're the only ones who have a 12K halo system embedded in the screen. While everybody else is sitting in the dark. So, you know, I know it makes you frustrated. I know it makes you angry at the end of the day, but who cares? I'm going to be super rich off this technology. You see with the competition we have to go with right now? And everybody else is stuck in the dark. They can't use that stuff. I said, it won't work. You know why? Because they all follow the same tradition. The tradition in rear projection screens, and keep in mind for those who make screen paint, front projection screen paint, you don't know what you're talking about when it does rear. You have to have, and I told you, you have to have tons of videos showing that you know what you're talking about. You need a lot to do that. So you don't know what you're doing. But anyway, as I said before, it takes years and years and years and years and years to do this. You don't get to say you know it just like that. You have to have experience in your field to do this. Tabletop projections. I don't see y'all doing tabletop projections. We got so many videos on tabletop projections. It's not even funny. Tons of demonstrations on outdoor demonstrations. As a matter of fact, when you go to the Crystal Ridge site, you will see actually developed an info site. But anyway, if you go to that site, we have the biggest grid on the most outdoor demonstrations on every level. See that right there? That's a tabletop display. With a lamp sitting in the middle of it. Y'all do demonstrations like this? No, you don't. Of course you don't. We did that demonstration roughly 7 years ago. So where are you guys at 7 years ago? Oh, you weren't around, right? Okay, let's move on then. See, what I show you, the little picture you showed me at the end of the day, you're sad. Because number one, you didn't even understand the picture at all. It's a AI design. And the reason why? Because the guy is sitting behind the screen. Invisible technology, you can't sit behind the screen because you cast a shadow through the other side of the screen. You will block the image because it's a rear projection. So how in the world would he have a surface about this size the Neo screen. And he's sitting behind the screen. And the screen has no buttons or peripherals on it, which showing that it's some kind of clear TV. It's not that at all, period. On top of that, with the TV, it wouldn't be in the same category as projection. So still, well, how would that be ours? And on that, he's inside. But you're going to show a demonstration of our screen outside on a 50 lumen projector and say, hey, we figured out how we did it. You know how dumb you sound right now when you made that statement? You know, that it reminds me of Portal. In Portal, where the machine just insults you all day because you can't figure out the puzzles in there. And the guy says, hey, we got a recording of your freaking on the answer machine. That's how dumb you sound. You ever played Portal before? That game freaking insults you the entire time. Like, it calls you idiot, stupid, whatever. You can't figure out puzzles. Oh, it's frustrating, I don't know what, but it's still a good game. That's how dumb you guys are. You literally, I should have photoshopped that showed the picture. Showed you the picture of it. It's hilarious. There's an Asian guy, not anything against Asian today, there's an Asian guy sitting right here behind the screen. I'm like, how the freak are you pushing the image through that? Because he's blocking the entire thing. And there's a picture of a leaf up there. Right? And then they show an image of my screen outside at 50 lumens operating in the daytime saying, look, we figured it out. And the guy's inside standing behind the back of the screen. That's Williams, by the way. We can tell the inside of your apartment, and on top of that, they ping your IP address. They constantly ping his IP address all the time. It goes back to the building. And the reason why they're pinging the IP address, because they're using that for him in court. I showed you all that stuff we have at the end of the day on him. At the end of the day, yeah, we sent all that stuff up to the building. We sent them more stuff up yesterday. We explained to them that FBI now is going to be involved in this, and all kinds of agencies. We filed multiple complaints against the building itself, all kinds of stuff. Contacted the guy at the funeral home and reached out to him and let him know exactly what's going on and blah, 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 and directed the managers that we know in the building, all that's being directed back to them. So by putting a complaint against the building itself, that means we went over the head of the manager, which means managers will be under investigation. They could be terminated. We don't play around with this kind of stuff then. And we got pictures of this guy half naked. Oh, man, yeah. And then, not even half naked. The worst, I don't even, which is worse, the fact that he's half naked, the fact that he's trying to be a minister, which is even worse. Gee whiz, that's like finding out that your minister got caught with child pornography. That's crazy stuff this guy is doing. Am I saying he got caught with that stuff? No, we're not saying that. We don't have any evidence on that. But, yeah, look at that mess, and someone claimed to be a minister, and someone sent you a picture like that. What would you think at the end of the day? Ain't no way in the world you would have your kids going to that church. Oh, heck no, we are not going to that church at all. That's the creepy level. It begins and starts that weird stuff. So we had to put that in the video, but yeah, that nonsense right there. But anyway, yeah. And again, for those who are going to be watching this later on Google and the other channels we have, this thing broadcasted too. Yeah, I hate to put this in here, but yeah, we had an encounter with a weirdo who started stalking me and started having feelings for me. And he sent me over some very weird pictures on a postcard, and it had someone's company on it. If someone would have thought at the end of the day that was the person on the company, it could have made a lot of trouble for that person. And he was not happy to hear this at all. He was very upset. So again, chances are there's going to be more lawsuits filed in the process for this guy. But this guy did some weird stuff, and we had to contact the building. We found the building where it's at. Yeah, it's a mess. And they're emailing me like crazy. We're not responding to any of that. Because we're not resolving this. I have to speak to the attorneys. Yeah, it's a mess. He triggered off a horrible mess in that building. Oh, check this out. This is another visible screen test. We got to get back to these right here. We only made these things twice. We might get back to these. I'm an engineer. I'm like, oh, gotta make one of these. I gotta get back and coat it with that coating on it. Definitely. These things are weird. These things are crazy, man. We gotta do one of these outside. I wonder how it would react to that. You don't have that technology. We have it. I literally forgot about this thing. Oh, we definitely got to bring this back. We got to bring this back and introduce this to the new technology we have today. Oh wow, that thing would look insane outside. There's so many possibilities going through my brain. I forgot about this thing. I literally forgot about this thing. This is a visible screen, like super invisible screen. We got to build this. We got to build one. We got to build one. I got to build one. I'd be crazy not to. I literally forgot about this thing. We actually made this thing. Oh, yeah, we definitely got to give me another one of these. Okay, good. I got it in my head. I already know exactly how we put it together. It's in my head. Yep, there's a test screen. Because test screens, we always put down, sorry, all info is NA. Yep, it's a test screen. Definitely going to be building that again. We're building that. We're definitely building that. This week we're building that. I got to see that thing outside. I literally forgot we made that thing. See, I told you, gentlemen, we literally make so much technology. I forget half of the stuff we've ever made. I forgot about that thing. I'm definitely going to be bringing that outside. That thing's crazy. I don't know what. Heck yeah. All right, that's basically about it. Little updates. I got stuff I got to do, but I thought I cleared it up 101 on you individual who think you know my stuff. You know rear project. You don't know jack at the end of the day. Again, how do I say it? You don't know jack about jack. You don't know about Jill. You don't know about the freaking hill. You don't know about the pail. You don't know about the water. You don't know nothing at all, period, when it comes to invisible technology. Mr. Rogers, if you ever pop back on YouTube again, because we know you're hiding, when you talk about me and rear projection, dude, I was developing rear projection technology before your channel ever existed on YouTube. I can stand back 11 years. So, again, you don't know anything. And I know that because I emailed you multiple times asking about the gain range nonsense, and you got nothing. Nothing came back. Right? Right. So these are the QME 2 demonstrations shown on a QME 2 projector. But if you look back, I had a QME 2, the same exact model I have here. It's a 300 lumen projector on an invisible technology 11 years ago. This is the part I got to do one before I leave on, at the ending I like to basically roast you, you fakers at the end of the day. And this is the part where I roast you right here. I'm going to repost this video. This video shows somewhat young Mr. Bird doing a demonstration 11 years ago on the exact same projector that I have right now. Can you do that? Show a demonstration. Oh, you weren't around 11 years ago. That's why you can't do it. Only we were. So, in this demonstration, this is where we show a 300 lumen projector, QME, 11 years ago, on invisible technology. Then now, this is the same projector I had way back then. They're pretty old, that I show up today. So, how can my demonstrations be fake if we did that 11 years ago? Man, my lawyer is going to drill into you guys pretty hard. It's like, where were you at? Where were you at when Mr. Bird was developing this technology 11 years ago? Where were you? You know what movie this is? The End. So the trailer for The End came out 11 years ago. That's how old that movie is. And there's a projector right there. There's the QME. Exact same version. Same one, except for mine's white and that one's black. So 11 years ago, I was testing an invisible technology on 300 lumen projector. And the movie that was showing on that was called The End. Which means when The End came out at that particular time, we saw the previews or trailers on that one 11 years ago. So, good luck in court. That's for the individuals we're suing. So where were you? Curious. You seem to know everything about me. You said that you knew everything about me. Where were you 11 years ago? So, when I get on camera and I say out of my mouth that you do not know jack about what you're doing, you don't know about invisible technology, you don't know about projection technology, you know nothing, you know nothing. All right, I'm glad we had that nice little chat. I'm so glad we had that time together. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. See you in court. For those of you at the end of the day who violated my company, keep in mind, as the days go by, the lawyers want more money. As the days go by, the lawyers want more time. So you're going to have to prove at the end of the day that my technology was a scam and you weren't even around when I first developed the technology. The YouTube channel didn't exist. So how would you know me? Like I said to you, Mr. Williams, when you call my phone, carrying on, we got a recording of you carrying on in the garage, and I said, you don't know me. And you said, I know you, you're a scammer, you've always been a scammer. That's what you said out of your mouth. Those very words are going to come back to haunt you. Same thing with the other one. He sat there and said he knew my company. How would you have known me? You weren't around. So how would you have known me? So if we were doing all that we were saying, man, I would have had tons. I wouldn't even be here right now. I'd be in jail. It'd be virtually impossible. So if I was all these things, how come I'm not in jail? How come no one outed any of my stuff for over 14 years that I've been doing this? How come anyone's ever done that? There's not one demonstration everywhere. Just people doing fake demonstrations against our products. That's it. Because they're scared of us. That shows you the level of fear that people are willing to go to out of desperation because they can't compete with us. They're willing to go to jail for my company. And I'm going to use that. When we go to court and these people are sentenced, I'm going to post or use their court documents and commercials saying, hey, people were literally so terrified of our technology, they literally committed crimes. That's going to bring us a lot of money. Gee whiz. Yeah, that's why when you do that hatred stuff against me, people come and check our stuff out. There you go. It doesn't hurt me. It brings me more money at the end of the day. That's what it does. You work for us. And they're already screaming and crying about the invisible screens outside. Oh, yeah, they're crying about that big time. They are crying about it big time. Yep. But you said, invisible technology, but yet, where were you at when I was developing all this? And I'm literally showing a movie from a trailer from the end. Those sample sheets on the ground, all that testing. Look, all that testing. That's crystal clear. We had one that actually was a little bit more of a fall to it, and this is actually crystal clear. Now, not to be rude here, but to Fernando, you see that small little room? That's where I started from. That tiny little room in there. 4 years of dedication to my craft. Constantly working every single day. You have been in the same spot, and I've been in multiple houses. I'm in the process of basically getting another house pretty soon. And this year I'm picking another unit out for myself. Something much a little bigger than the other one, but still, yeah, I'm getting my another place. I've moved multiple times in multiple houses. The Lord has blessed me to come out of that little room into anywhere I need to go to do our demonstrations, anything we needed. Now I sit up here in my own office at the end of the day. I got clients to come in and check out our technology. I got a technology that allows me to go anywhere I want. This is where my future ended up at. And look at yours. Following Satan. You've been in the same spot since day one. When my patents come back, I have to make the decision what I want to do. I could just retire. Go to Switzerland, retire, sit out there and just watch the mountains and all that, and do a little fishing out there, and yeah, I'm thinking about it. I put enough time in. I think I'm worried of retirement now. And for those people sitting back and saying, well, what about what? The product has been there for the longest time. If you haven't taken advantage of it, how would that be my fault at the end of the day? You do know that once I step out of the shoes of this position and whoever I allow to take over, we don't have any control of price. That's not my problem. That's they do that now. They do pricing now. Because I can't control that. I'm retired. I have nothing to do with it at all, period. And it gave me my money at the end of the day. I take it and I leave. That's it. I go to Switzerland. Go chill. Disrupt the earth. And if they're going to charge you $6,000, $8,000, $9,000 a square, they're going to charge you. I have no control over that. It's theirs. It belongs to them. That's the whole purpose of selling it. It belongs to them. Now, for somebody say, I thought you were never going to sell out. Retire. I'm tired. I'm ready to go. I've been here for too long. I want to do something else. I'm going to study something else. I'm going to work on something else. I'm going to devote another 10 years to work on something completely different. So maybe now we're just engineering the technology to back it up to show the other companies on how much it's worth. Remind you, those of my customers took advantage of our technology and they had us sitting up there watching movies and sports outside. Why? Those of you who are sitting in the dark right now, disappointed because your screen's just matching your daughter's gray top on top or your son's gray hoodie. You get what you pay for. That's what you get. Can't always get what you want. Heard that song before? I have an option now. I have a future technology. I have a final form technology. I have the option to choose whether to retire, rich, or basically continue to do this and still get rich, but no, I'm going to retire. I'm going to go to Switzerland. That's what I want to do. I'm going to Switzerland. I'm going to stare at mountains. Chill, get myself a Saint Bernard. That'd be fun. Taco and a Saint Bernard. That'd be hilarious. I'd definitely be hilarious. And disappear. That's what I'm going to do. Enjoy my life. I put the time in. I deserve it. So when that happens, websites will still be there. I'm using this information site, but the marketplaces will be gone because we won't be selling anymore. And whoever would take control of that will take control of that. Would it change? All the domain names have to be changed over to information, blah, 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 or archives, whatever. But it can't have anything to do with whether it's in the official patents and stuff because, again, we can't use it because it won't belong to me anymore. It'll belong to whoever. You're not even kidding me. Same projector. But do you see the jump in technology right there? At one point, I was sitting inside a little rented room doing a demonstration. I had never thought the day would come when I could do that. That's what you're supposed to see when it comes to your technology. You're supposed to see massive advancements in your technology, not stuck in the same dark environment for freaking over 15 years. In a dark environment, probably mostly 10 years. I say 10 years. I didn't know the guy that far back, so it could be 15 years. But anyway, so it's in the same demonstrations, same dark environment, same different types of projectors, but they're high-end projectors, same thing. And here we are. We can show a demonstration. I got to do that. I'm gonna do a mashup on that. Show our demonstration, what it used to look like back then and what it is now, that before and after. 12:31 in the afternoon. I would have never thought in a million years I would have had that type of technology. Look at that. 12:31. We're outside in the afternoon. I got to go back. I wonder what my I would love to go back in time and meet myself. You know what we did with this stuff? Look, we're freaking outside, man. Same projector outside. I'm like, no way. That's not possible. It is possible. We have it now. We have the ability. And we can absorb sunlight with this thing. Like, really? Sunlight. I would have a ball with myself. We in there cracking up at the end of the day telling, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, look at this. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, I would blow my own mind. I'd go back in time and blow my own mind at the end of the day. Second, me will be out there looking at the screen like, good gracious, you gotta be kidding me. Like, how? You know how? God. So, oh, yeah, God. You know, I was a big fan of God back then, too. That's a huge, massive jump from having a CUNY in a little rented room where I first started my company to being outside now at 300 lumens. You know why? That's a massive jump. You know why? Because we give all glory to God. That's why. All glory goes to God. All our companies, all our businesses, everything we have, everything we do, everything down to the label, all that's guided by divine spirit, by God. So you guys went out and basically tampered with divine spirit. You tampered with God's blessing. That's why your outcome is this way. That's why you're laughed at. No one takes you seriously. Everybody laughs at you. That's the sad thing about it. All right, now I got to figure out what I want to do today, because I definitely want to do some demonstration. I might do a submersible in the water. I haven't done submersibles in a while. I definitely want to do a submersible in the water. No. I want to do something different. Let me see. I got to figure out what I want to do now, because we got so many options now to play around with. I got to figure out what I want to do. I don't know. I'm going to do something involved in the 300 lumen projector. I think I'm going to do more demonstrations on that rear. Yeah, I definitely want to do that. I'm going to set up for that right now. Just let that, whatever. Let me see. Don't you know it's so beautiful today? Today. Burning down the avenue. You see the sun. Oh, man. Look at our screen paints, man. CUNY 2. Floodlights, man. Look at this. Y'all really look at the demonstrations we do. That's the new 300 lumens. It's reading through a screen that has 12K of LED lights in it. So this is part that I find interesting for the person who we know who set the photo, by the way. Did you notice that every single screen in Visible Technology doesn't have a 12,000 lumen halo system embedded behind the back of the screen? Did you know that? Only we have that capability. I even pushed that screen all the way up to those 24,000 lights up there and showed the demonstration of that technology feeding off that energy. So we get some Asian guys sitting behind the back of the screen, which again may happen, and because the projector would have blocked the image to come through the other end. Yeah. Nice try, Mr. Williams, but you failed again. You guys are desperate in the back. Look, when my buddy system gets here, I'm going to be all over Allentown, chilling, watching movies, having fun out there, and you guys are going to be, well, you're going to be crying over my stuff, which you always do. You always cry over my stuff. You're supposed to cry over my stuff. This is your job. Am I mad at you for making hope? No, that's your job. You're supposed to cry. My job is to keep developing technology to keep making you cry. It's a process. We make amazing stuff, you cry. That's the connection we have. We back up everything we have, you don't. That's what we do. Anything. Oh yeah, that's another one we did at 300 lumens and whatchamacallit. Fireplace display. It's our black technology outside at 300 lumens. Look how bright that thing comes up at 300 lumens. And that's our black technology we have in here that's absorbing all the sunlight. That's a cinematic out there. It's a black screen. That's our black screen paint. Notice I'm across the street, right? I'm across the street in the park. I'm on the other side, watching it from there. And there are a bunch of other people staring at the same screen I was staring at. So, question, how would that technology be a scam if we're outside with it in a park, in an open area? What I like about the people were nice enough not to walk in front of the screen while we're recording. They stayed behind the back of someone asking me questions about it. That's why if you find music in my videos, sometimes it's music in the videos because I'm in there having conversations with people and I don't have consent to go in and put their whatchamacallit up there, their voices. And I don't have any sheets in front of me to say, hey, look, I got your consent. And the person says, yeah, I got my consent. That's a verbal agreement. They can still get me on that. So no, that's why we double music. So if I'm out in an area and there's nobody around me and I'm talking, then I show that. There's nobody around me. How well do you think a gray screen would operate out there? The gray screens in there, y'all talk a lot of trash. I go to your forum sites, y'all talk a lot of trash about how you can read in ambient lit environments. That's an ILEG technology out there. Now, since I got that new system coming in, I will be taking a gray screen out. Outside. Not in that environment. It'll be in a different environment. I got a place picked that I want to go. It's a lot of light up there. People are away. We'll see if you pick up in a shaded area, which I tried it already at 50 lumens on the screens that read through sunlight. I leaned over the screen and I tried to catch some shot. It didn't pick up anything at all. So I'll claim you're outside worthy. Let's see how good you are. And then we got to do a white surface. So matter of fact, I got to do a splatter screen. I forgot. Man, we got to be out there a lot. I'm going to kill the daylights out of that battery. I got to be out there to do a splatter screen to show the difference between a white technology versus a white screen. I got to do one on a gray screen out there. I got to do one on a certified out there. Against the high-end technology. That's to send back to them to let them know at the end of the day, hey, look, we didn't mention the name of what's out there, but we want to show you what the results would be. All right. So since we got a rainy day, that means I get to work inside. And I get to work with the Search Engine Optimizer, but I still got to be out to get a couple of things that I need for work. And I want to do some rear projection on the 300 lumen projector on our clear screen. I want to play around with that today. See? Look at that. You think you know invisible technology. You don't know anything. You don't even know front projection technology. Now, like I said, all the time that they had those paints and products, how come they didn't do that? How come they didn't paint up a 250-inch screen, 180-inch screen, 150-inch screen? They didn't do any of that. They stayed in dark environments where they could basically cheat and manipulate. They don't go outside. We can't wait to get outside. That's one of the things too. When you find out that a screen paint's not doing what it's supposed to be doing, you see very little demonstrations outside. And when they're outside, they're dead outside in the dark. That's how you know. Nothing to know. A lot of dark demonstrations inside, nighttime demonstrations on screen outside, there you go. Kind of telling themselves with that one. Let me see where I'm going to put this at. Is that my reach from there? Is that be a test of demonstration? Press on outstanding. Now, flawless. I'm going to do it this way. Now I got to do it. Come on, break my projector. My meeting doing something crazy. Look. I'm doing the hot box today, so going to swap up the hot box. Let's see. That's over here. Use this one instead. I want to do. It should hit from where I'm at. I'm looking at it right now. It should hit. I'll explain to you what I'm doing in the background. I'm doing something crazy. You know me at the end of the day, I'm always doing something crazy. Gotta do something, camera. I want to see if the thing actually works. So how far would you have to put this out in order to nail this thing? Alright, can you put it here? Let me see if I put it here. If I put it here, will it fit there? I don't know. Looks like it would. I'm gonna need plenty of back area to do that. We don't have them there. Where are the pieces at for that? Sorry, something crazy just popped up in my head. Now I gotta do it. Like myself challenging myself with I dare you. You must do it. A challenge accepted. I accept the challenge. Let me see. Alright. Can we use this instead of this one? This one. Always right smack dead in the path. Right here. Right in the path. Right in the path, right here. Right in your path. Right here in the path. Here's the You cannot be that skittish. You can't be that skittish. All I did was cough. Oh, hand me the back seat, coughed. Oh my goodness. Ah. I'm going to see something. I got to test something out crazy. I've been thinking about this one right here. So we have the screen up in the ceiling. So what if we hit it with a 300 lumen projector only? How would that react? It should go quite well because this thing can absorb through sunlight. But it has to be reversed. It has to be backwards in order to do it. Because for some reason these screens operate better outside, especially in direct sunlight. Now if you're outside and it's in the shade, that's what I have to do. I have to test. I haven't done that test yet. I have to go outside and see what happens if we're in a shaded area. Will you be to see if you turn the projector around, you'll be to see it from that area. We have to see from that. And you can see from front projection if we're in the shade. But outside in direct sunlight, it only shows up in the front, which is weird, which is crazy. Because light's pushing through that thing. And on top of that, the projector and the lumen count absorbing sunlight too also. So that's where we have to run some more tests. That's why it's good to have the battery pack unit in. Now I don't have to be there all the time. And I don't like to be there because that's like a meeting area that people sit down and chill and stuff like that. I don't want to be in there recording. And I got lucky a couple of times, and I was blessed a couple of times that I was in there, that nobody was in there, but I don't want to record anybody whatsoever. So that's why I try to go early in the morning or try to get it on a Sunday when no one's out there. Usually on Sunday people are out chilling or, I don't know. But they're not there, so that's good. That helps me out. But now, since I have the new power brick coming in, I can just go wherever I want to go, which makes it much better. But I have so many places I need demonstrations at. May work, ladies and gentlemen. I think it may work. Thank goodness I don't got a cat that attacks her. Look, I won't attack that. It has challenged me. It's challenge you, Doc. It challenge you. It's challenge you. It has challenged me. Therefore, I will attack it. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. It's a funny cat, man. It's a funny cat, man. It's freaking hilarious. So I'm curious to know if we can do it, can we do it, can we not do it? What happens? But we should have no problem running in here. That's why I need to run out. Oh, wait. I forgot about that section. We can run through that whole place. I gotta walk through there now. Alright, I never been in the PPL building, the big one. It's a big open area in there. I wonder if we could take our portable projector in there and just show demonstrations in different areas all through that place. It would be so cool. When you got to be there for a couple minutes, order some food, just sit down and chill, do a couple of demonstrations in there, here and here, in different seating areas. That'd be fantastic footage. On top of it, it's inside of a big building. We got free roam. We can walk around in there. Oh my goodness. I know exactly what I want to show in there. I definitely do the, they do the, whatchamacallit games in there, the Wings games in there. So I'm going to watch a Wing game in there on the screen while I'm in their plasma to show back to them. Oh man, we're going to have so much fun with this technology. So I got to get some fresh surfaces because the one I have, I beat the crap out of it. As you can see, put tape on it, pulling it up over and over again. Yeah, I damaged it. Make sure you advise you don't do that. So put tape on it, pull it up over and over again to do all that stuff. I forgot about that. I'm walking up in that building. Because that's a 50 limit. We don't even need the 300. We could run the 50 in there through that whole unit. That gives me a whole building to have access to walk through. I've never been there. I'm going to check it out, get some food, some food, stuff like that. Is that right, Taco Bear? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, let me see. Here. You're not triggered, but there you are. we should be to hit that. Okay, we're gonna have some fun today. You gotta be inside. Might as well do something different. I gotta find something to entertain myself. If not, then I get bored. So we're gonna do something different. Different today. Something different. That's why I like the school teachers. I had a school teacher every time we came into class. He was a science teacher. He was always doing something different, man. Always teaching us something new. That's what I loved about that science teacher, man. I used to get upset if I had to miss a day of school because I couldn't be in his class, man. Always learning something new from this guy. That's why every time we put those cameras on, we always try to be somewhere different. I want to do something where I start doing the video here, and the next thing, poof, we disappear outside. We just pop up somewhere outside. I'm going to start doing all my videos that way. So once I get the battery system in here, oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. We get to go outside and play finally. Because right now, in here, it's great. I've got freedom here. But it just feels like I'm stuck here because we can't really use it to where I want to go. I want to go anywhere. And we only use outlets for that projector. And now we have that battery system coming in. I can go anywhere I want to go. So now I'm going to show a video here in the office. And then boom, I'm outside somewhere in Allentown. Watching a movie or doing a demonstration. That's right, Taco Bear. That's right. He says rounds. That's right, Taco Bear. Rounds. He's all about the rounds. You understand? Taco is all about the rounds. He don't meow. He just goes round. Round. Ooh, upside down furry face. Upside down furry face. How dare you unleash that cuteness on me? How dare you? You know exactly what you're doing with that upside down furry face. Unleashing the cuteness. Dare you? How dare you, Taco? How dare you unleash the cuteness like that? How dare you? How dare you unleash the cuteness? Oh, it works! Wait, so how much do we have? Ooh, man. We gotta bring it up a little bit. Yeah, these things are super bright. Excuse me, come on, man. Come on, you have progress. Why do you do that? Why do you stop still? Don't move. You're walking right in front of me and just stop. I don't know, just stop. You guys would be horrible merging into traffic. You would cause a massive car accident. Just stop. Got to be reverse, merging in traffic. You're right up in front of you, like, you stop. Got distracted. You take off with the zoom. You know you're crooked, right? Man. Sometimes I actually see it this way. Yeah. Something real quick. Man. YouTube, tropical fish. YouTube. So read it on that side. Oh, go backwards. Keep getting everything backwards. Oh my God. Here we are backwards. And that song stuck in my head. Backpack, backpack. Told you that stuff is insane. Unstoppable. So that's a 300 lumen projector pushing through that screen while it's sitting right next to 24,000 in the ceiling. So this means this screen can operate anywhere it wants to go. There you go. True power of our technology. I told you. You know what? I'm not even going to say our technology anymore. Because technically it comes down, it's God's technology. Because he's the one that engineered everything. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have it. Yeah, let's say God's technology. Yep, engineered God's technology. God's technology, God's technology, God's technology. Look, light pushes to that thing and flickers right through the ceiling. Yeah, freaking love that. Powered by God's technology. Somebody came in one time and said, what do you mean by powered by God's technology? It's God's technology. It's God's technology. God made it. It's his technology. What part of that you don't understand? Oh, it can't be God's. Also, God has limitations. You're talking about something, the supreme being, the Alpha and Omega, at the end of the day, has limitations. Is that what you just said? No limitations in God. It's limitations in us. That's the problem. We have limitations. We like to inflict our limitations on God and say, well, we feel that God can't. Yeah. All right. Next time, when the time comes, God forbid, if you live on this earth for a very long time, try bringing yourself back. Since you figure that you have such control over your life. See how that one works out. People sitting there making bargains with God, trying to stay here longer. That shows you at the end of the day that you don't have control over your life. I'm freaking loving this. Ba, 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 ba. Got the fireplace pushing through. That's all I was sitting up behind you, just thinking about, can we do that? I get stuff will pop in my head like, have you ever tried that? Can we do that? Now see, there's one thing to fake the demonstration and darken the environment and do it. There's another one to put all the lights on. Because if I put all the lights on, I can see exactly what that thing actually does do instead of cutting the corners. Then when someone comes in to ask us that question, we can actually talk to them and tell them the truth instead of lying about it because we faked it in the YouTube demonstration. Like every time I watch a demonstration involving screen paints, what do we see? Dark environment, dark environment, dark environment. And then when they show a demonstration of the screen, we'll see a picture of the screen with all the lights on. And then when the lights come on, screen, they turn it off. So that screen paint, for those of you that are into the ambient light projection or AR where you are, that technology is challenging your screen also. That's our screen paint, showing that it can operate outside of 300 lumens when the projectors you're using, your demonstrations are way over ours and you're in the dark. No birthday cake out there. No birthday cake whatsoever. Can't be birthday caking it out there. Can't be birthday caking it. Look at you all that crazy. What are you doing in circles? Don't you go back there again. Taco. No. You're being a jerk. No. Being a jerk. Stop being a jerk. Look at that. That's crazy. Now, see what I mean? My theory at the end of the day? This is my theory on this technology. My theory. See, if we are in this type of lighting, right, you can see both this side and this side on the screen. But if we're in an extreme well lit area, that's why the projector sitting behind it, like this, we can still see the screen with no problem. This side, rear. But if you switch around to the back, you don't see it. Isn't that freaking cool? That's pretty interesting, isn't it? So that's why when we did the test demonstration here, we realized that if we use 50 lumens will operate and hit the back of that screen. Because it'll read, because we use 50 lumens outside when we do demonstrations, and they absorb in sunlight. So that means inside, if you have extreme lighting like this, the rear projection will actually play the better part. Where if we're inside and you want to use front projection, 300 lumens will operate in here and all this lighting with no problem. Which is far more advanced than what you're seeing today. Kabam! Now partial lighting, this side, and this side. I trip over you, I'm gonna kick your butt. Cause he literally ran right near my feet, Cats, you don't own one, you'll figure it out. I think cats plot so to try to kill you. Because I swear they'll get right under your feet, especially if you're carrying something heavy. Oh, they love that one. They like to stop and walk in front of you slow. And then they do that little stretch and they stretch your leg out like, ugh. And you're carrying this heavy object like, excuse me, like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you back there. Bury it. Don't be a jerk about it either, bury it. Watch this. Wow, wow. Yeah, he buried. Don't tell him Barry. Can you do that to your cat? Can you tell your cat to Barry and they Barry? Mine can. Mine's strange. You ever seen Taco walking up on any of this stuff here on the descent? No, he's trained. My cat does not climb up on stuff and all that stuff or tear up furniture and any of that stuff. Nope, he's trained. Ha! See, my cat's better trained than most people's cats. You will never ever catch him anywhere walking up on any of these ever because he's trained. Cat has better habits than most humans. People I see walking up on their counters. Ew, it's nasty. Barefooted. I saw somebody walking on the counter barefooted. I'm like, that is nasty. And then they forget they were up there and they make a sandwich off the same table countertop. See, this is why you can't eat from everybody. That's why I said, if you have cats and stuff at the end of the day, I'm not eating from you or anything. Because cats jump on countertops and walk around. And most people don't even clean. You know why? Because they feel at the end of the day that it's my cat. I'm not considered to be dirty. For other people, if you make some food, especially when you don't put a plate down, I'm done. I'm not. No. That's why my cat's trained not to climb up on stuff. Not even on his sofa. He had his own sofa. In that house, he had his own sofa. The love seat was his. He was not permitted on my sofa. To train anything with a brain. Anything with a brain can be trained. No, you can't train cats. There's still. You can train anything with a brain. You know, he doesn't climb up for nothing. You would never see him anywhere on top of it. He wasn't even allowed in my workshop. He had the whole house was roamed through and played. He's not allowed in the workshop. That's why there was zero hair in the workshop. He wasn't allowed in here. And when I was cleaning my PCs out, you notice? No cat hair. Nothing. Not a thing. Just dust. That's all. There's got air cleaners in there, that's why. I always put air cleaners in every place I go at. I get the nice big boys. This place is probably about something like 200 something square feet, and my air cleaners for 1,500 square feet. So that's when he came and said, what's that? So, oh, it's air cleaner. Because it's an old long thing. I have them everywhere I go. I'm thinking about putting 4 of them in here. 4 in each corner. The actual, if we don't need it, but I want it to have ultimate purification air. I get obsessed with stuff like that in the day. Let's put 4 in each corner. And you put the plugins on top of that, oh my goodness, man, the aromatherapy is beautiful. See, I have a off topic here, but people have cats. They know this stuff at the end of the day. People who don't have cats, you don't know jack. You be making comments you don't know anything about. Nothing about. Like these screens over here, you don't know nothing about. See, now it's funny, because when I came in here, right, we had this conversation about invisible technology, right? And I showed you a lot of my invisible technology. I dated back years ago, right? And the new stuff we have now. And then I came in and do this. BAM! Right in front of you. See what I mean? Turn the lights on. Show you the screen firing up. Right there in front of you. Did I plan that? No, I just do it for the sake of it. Because we can. That's why. That's why we do it. Because we can. That's why. That's how easy it is for us. We do this stuff every day like clockwork. Because we can. Was this going to be a part of the demonstration? No, I had no plans for it. I just do it because I can. Bam! Gotta be the back of your stuff. That's what it comes down to. I like my fireplace. I should be a little bit more clear than that. Let me see my focus here a little bit. So yeah, if I'm gonna come in here and talk about invisible technology, I gotta show you some invisible technology. You don't want to hear somebody talk about cake and they ain't bring any cake. Oh wait, did you bring any cake with you? So we're gonna talk about cake, but you ain't got no cake here. See, they're gonna upset you. Now you're gonna be mad. You're gonna leave out of there. First thing, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna go to the store and buy some cake. Because now they talked about cake. There you go. So what's the point of me talking about the technology we have here if I can't show you right now, in the future? Dun, 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 dun. I'm gonna do some videos up. Dun, 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 dun. Burn, baby, burn. Disco and burn, oh, burn, baby, burn. Burn that mother down. See? I want fish up here. Where are my fish at? Look at him laying right there. Oh, another cute pose. Look at you. Don't look away from the camera. Showing the cute pose. Wow. Up the upside down furry face. That is the up and down furry face. When he turns this upside down, I call that the upside down furry face. Taco, I'm loving the upside down furry face. I'm absolutely loving it. Loving it. Well, you didn't do it now. You rolled it from into the upside down furry face. How dare you? How dare you look so cute on camera? How dare you? How dare you? Taco. Taco. How dare you look so cute on camera? How dare you? I'm gonna get right up in your face. Right up in your face, man. Look at that nose. Look at the whiskers. Look at the whiskers. Look at the nose. Oh my goodness. I gotta do it, Taco. I got to. I got to boop the nose on camera. Can I poop you? Boop. I booped the nose on. Look at those eyes. Look at those endless eyes. Beautiful. Ooh. Man, if I wore glasses, I would get the same contact lenses as my cat. You're like, what? Wait. I don't. Something's weird here with you guys. Oh, see? Now, see, that'd be cool. Well, I thought I looked that up. Digital contact lenses. I looked that up too. They are making them. Digital contact lenses. They're used mostly for basically for night vision. But digital contact lenses, can you imagine if you had contact lenses that can make your eyes flash or automatically change the pupil to cat eyes, but it'd be a lens there? I know that sounds kind of crazy and dangerous to stick something in your eye, but there are people right now thinking, oh, that ain't a bad idea. I would do that. That'd be fantastic for like movies and cosplay and all that stuff. 4K fish demonstration. Brown disco and burn, oh, burn, baby, burn. Move down, burn, oh, burn. Hey, watch this. See the lamp later though? Watch this. Well, camera picks it up. We don't see it on our end. Yeah, see it disappear? But that's what you see, because the camera, at the end of the day, picks up all that, picks up the glare. It doesn't come to the naked eye. And when people sit there and says, well, no, that's why when we have the showroom, we have a sign advising people to pull cameras out and record. Because I want them to testify on that. You can't, cameras can read those things correctly. They generate that much light. Mind you, watch the screen generate outside. What do you think happens if a camera goes near there? I have a very difficult time trying to document these things because I got sunlight slamming my camera. I'm thinking, oh man, it's another headache of a day. Trying to get somewhere to get the recording to come in because the sunlight's disrupting my camera. And we got the bars and yellow fruity colors popping across the screen. Yeah, it's hard to do it. So I had to get a Panasonic, because the Panasonic, I used to have one of those and I could record in sunlight with those. That's a heavy camera. That's something else. Now I got to carry around another piece of equipment I got to carry with me. But everything's in short distance. I'm good. But if it's longer distance, I'm just going to take a lift. MMD, black background, dancing. Look at you. That's front, and that's rear. Let's see if we get on full blast. Now, in this situation, using the long throws in here, what I advise using the clears in here, if you're using a lens shift capability, come on, man. Which ones are the switches on here? There we go. Now, if I'm using a lens shift, then the lens shift is going to be, look, it's reflecting off here and bouncing back on here. That's crazy, isn't it? The lens shift projector will be way up here, and the glare would shoot here, but the image would be pushed down here. That's the only thing I would advise if you're using a clear screen. But the black ones we make, you won't see any of that. We stick one of them up there, you won't see nothing, just the image pushed here. Glare, all that's canceled out completely. So somebody had an idea that they wanted to do a huge wall, put projectors behind it, multiple projectors behind it, and make the wall part of the scenery. So that way, when you walk up, you would just see this person pop through the wall, wave at you, and then run away. That's the kind of display they want to put in their environment, their lobby. You imagine you sitting there next to a wall, it's all black, and you just see something run up alongside the wall and just look at you and it run right back in, and there's a whole little show that pops up behind you. See, that's the stuff you can do with this technology. You got to be the thing way outside the box. It's more than just be able to have a screen that's front and rear. There's so many applications you can do with this thing. We got this new blue technology coming out. We showed some of the testing on that. And that blue technology basically tints the glass. So basically we can have a real looking fish tank. And these things are submerged underwater. So now you can have this ultimate fish tank in your home. Any shape, any way you want it. Any size you want. And instead of these are like 4-dimension screens, which we can't show you how they're being built, right? It's a different type of screen, trust me. It does involve some installment. So basically, you would have to cut the wall and put this thing into the wall because they're wide. But it's interesting on how it's designed. It's designed to make it look like you have a portal right in your wall. See, that's what I'm talking about. You're thinking small, we're thinking big. We're big levels at the end of the day. So with this technology, you can go in and basically put screens all through your entire environment, screens in your backyard, you put virtual fish tanks in, change the floor, your ceilings. It's endless in what we can do with it. You got a business, you can also too use the same technology for your business at the same time. Let's grab it first. But you have to know what you're doing when it comes to invisible technology. You just can't say, I know what I'm doing. No, you mess around and screw up somebody's surface pretty bad. It takes a lot of testing. All right, I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to put it down like inside. Yeah. Yeah. That was a yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Taco. Okay. tried to do all that. At one point, I tried to do that engineering, technology, and stuff, and all that. But long story short, I'm just designing it for whoever. That's my fault. I knew at the end of the day it was going to fall over, and I did nothing. Oops, I understand. Let's go do the one thing. Let's see. Let's bring it back up. Let's try it again. And next time, let's have some tape available for this thing. That was my fault. I had it up here, and I didn't have the other one with it, but I should have did. Should have had both of them up there. I only had one. Did I put the top on it? I'm not putting the top on here clip either. And I have another catastrophe. But, yeah. I'm just going to develop my technology for not everybody. Companies, everybody. Well, that just explains that the one person, Mr. Williams, again, you don't know anything, you don't know what you're doing. Honestly, you really don't. In an apartment, having psychotic behaviors and screaming and yelling at a screen and a ceiling doesn't prove you have anything that works. It just proves that you may be a little insane. Which, now from the evidence that we have received from him, definitely, you're definitely crazy. So, again, you don't know what you're doing. Just more nonsense as we usually go through. Okay, this is higher up than this side. So what do we need here to get this one to work? We need to go down. Let's go down. Let's point downward. So I need this. Definitely need more. Oh no, let me just right here. And also to Mr. Williams, keep in mind, I got a 150-inch screen that displayed through a storefront window. So with that being said, yeah, if it was a scam, the company who I was actually doing the demonstration in front of, the owners would have saw it. See, desperate. You guys are so desperate. So desperate. Just so desperate. It's a shame. It's sad. They're desperate. You guys sitting right there in front of the machine, right in front of the screen. How the frick are you producing the image? He's right in front of it. Like, okay. Yeah, it's Photoshop, buddy. Full lighting. Right on top of it. My projector's distance, way over there. So that means these screens can operate easy in fully lit environments with no problem whatsoever. See, that's the important thing when it comes to showing people that you know what you're talking about. You have to back those things up. You have to freaking listen. Oh, also right here. Gotta know what you're talking about. Maybe on camera, making it up, ranting and screaming and yelling and all that dumb nonsense. Gotta know what you're talking about. No company in their right mind is going to trust you to a store glass window if you can't show proof that you've been around for a while. Because what they're going to do is they're going to go through your YouTube channel and they're going to dig up all your videos claiming you have this experience. And they're going to look through your channel. And if you don't have anything that really showing you know what you're doing, they're not going to touch you with a 10-foot pole. Because that's something, you mess that up, that's irreversible. You have to buy the surface all over again. And that's very expensive. A sheet of plexiglass of that size is very expensive. A piece of glass, very expensive. You have to know what you're doing. Like Richard McComb did. Danny walked in front of a camera with a little tiny piece like this and flashed it. Like this, look, I have it. No, you don't have it. Take it outside, you jerk. Take that thing outside. I want to see not one demonstration you're doing this. I want to see 30, 40, 50 demonstrations. Show me 10 demonstrations in one day and you backing that thing up. Because when we show demonstrations at 10, 15 videos a day, that's us backing up our products. That's us out there testing, getting the job done. When you see them do one short little video in a dark environment, telling, see, we did it. No, that's not enough, buddy. Oh, we're coming in with a freaking floodlight. They turn the lights on for goodness sake. Poof. I'll light your environment up for you. No, you got to have dozens of videos. You got to be to say, hey, we're going outside right now. Boom, show a bunch of videos. No one's going to believe you. So I got to be out there in the heat, in the cold, whatever it takes to show that the product works. You got to back it up. And I went out in that park. I had to go out in that park, and it was hot out there. My shirt was soaking wet when I went out and did that demonstration. See me crying and whining about it on camera? No, I got the job done and moved on. And I had to walk 6 blocks to get there because that part was at a distance. I walked the 6 blocks up there, shot the video demonstrations, came back, uploaded everything. Well, these jokers are probably most likely either doing absolutely nothing or in a dark apartment talking about, look, we got light in the environment, open up a door. Okay. Alright, I'm done here. I want to do some other stuff on this today. Play around with this. See this right here. That's why I say unnerving looking lights. That's not. Black background, beta fish. They're doing what they want. No, I said black background, beta fish. And we can't go back on that. Can we? It's a commercial. So I've had dozens of people up here to see this thing. I had people take flashlights and push them through the screen, turn the lights on, all that. And then when they try to record, they can't pick it up. Because that's on the record it. They can't pick it up. Now, see all this right here? That doesn't show up on my end. So for those people saying, but I heard that line before, yeah, the difference between me and them is mine's when we sit in a showroom at the end of the day. We can come down and check it out for yourself. That's the difference between mine and them. We're not going to their apartment and their home at the end of the day. We got a showroom going in. You can go there. And I got my clients coming here to see it. So that's the difference. And I want people to pull those cameras out. Because one of the things we're bragging about this technology, that it literally picks up a gain so high that it actually disrupts the camera's recording capabilities. It is very difficult for me to record this thing. So I want them to see exactly what we see in our cameras all the time. How they have the glare that comes up, you can't see, yeah, you go, that comes from the technology generating that much light. So we're going to use that as an advantage point, what? To advertise and make money. But that's what we do. Oh, by the way, this is the screen paint, the halo system we put in there. I got to paint the boxes black, but that's a light system that runs from there. There's another one that runs from there, and then that's the light that hits the screen. And then all the light we have here allows our black technology to read there and outside, back and forth. You're not locked in on what you want to hunt for. You're free roam right now. I don't want that moving for. You got free roam. You're going back to go hunt. What you don't hunt for? Huh? What you mean you're people? Huh? What do you mean you people? Huh? What? Every time, gotta make it every time. What? Let me see. Oh yeah, we are going to get a piece from there. So what we have from here to here. It's not stretchy. Where's my long one? I got a very long one. I don't know what I did with it. What is this here? I just put this. I can just take this. There. But that was falling over. Around off the liquid cooling system. Off the liquid cooling system. Oh, we're not plugged in. Power. I've got that power. I've got that power. feeling funky fresh, y'all. Fresh, y'all. Meow. Meow. But meow. But meow. How you gonna talk about the meows and not talk about the meows, Taco? How are you gonna talk about the meows and not talk about them? I mean, I'll throw a step on you for a minute. But you do not move. Literally does not move. He does not like to move. See? Are we going where we want to go in here? So now, this is also as a flex, which means I can attach it to my PC, do some nice visual displays off of it. I don't want to do butterflies. Let's do, we got mics hooked up this? We do. Visual displays, matrix. What did she give me? Something weird. Visual displays. Something completely different. This is where it makes them upset when they're like, "Wow, I can just go anywhere I want." For ceiling, right over here, visual displays for effects on my PC, all that cool stuff. That tech does what it wants to do. It goes anywhere it wants to go. Fully lit environment makes no difference. 24,000 on the ceiling makes no difference. 300 lumen pierce tube makes no difference. Outside, at only 50 lumens in the sunlight pierce tube, it does what it wants to do. And that makes me, since I'm going back that far, and this type of technology, that would make me an expert in the field of transparent projection screen and ambient light projection technology. Not only did I come in here and talk the talk, but I think I walked the walk. So again, your desperate tries at trying to take Photoshop images and whatever dumb nonsense that was to try to, we haven't seen, you don't have nothing compared to what I have. Desperate tries. Here, this is what you do. Instead of trying to run around, trying to figure out and trying to find someone close to us, because I have people I pay to do that already, and we haven't found anybody. That's why when you pull up screens in direct sunlight, we're the only ones that pop up. This is what you do. Make it yourself. That shows that today you can't. Because if you could, you wouldn't be going to some Photoshop nonsense. Now, see how I have to come out here and embarrass you at that level? Is this necessary? Come out here and embarrass you on this level. Do stuff like this in front of you. Because I can do it for kicks and giggles. Let me see. MMD, background, black, dancing. When I sit there and say that you don't know what you're doing when it comes to projection screen transfer technology and any other form of projection technology, you don't know what you're talking about. Look at that. Look how beautiful that looks. Right through our PC. And that's the front projection of this technology. This is going to be different coding that we're going to be doing pretty soon. We want something different for the flex. Lights on, makes no difference. It's fired up in here. Boom! Screen has so many different applications on what it can do. It's not even funny. And it can operate, like I said, any environment, not some suggestion environment. I see people putting the bottom as well. Some ambient light, no, all ambient light environments, including outside. That's an ambient light environment also. You keep forgetting that. When you talk about ambient light environments, what are we talking about? Are we talking about inside, outside, daytime? What are you talking about? All ambient light environments, all times of the day, that technology operates. I'll make that a video today. Everybody dance now. Dun, 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 dun. No, we got to do this. I'm going to do this here and I'm going to do it outside. That's what we have to do. We have to do it here and do it outside. Yeah, play the music. Everybody dance now. That's why I had to go back in the archives. I had to go back in the past to show you where I come from, who I am. So if you claim you know me, you should have known me back then. Question, where were you? When I was developing an engineer and all that technology back then. Show me the music. Man. This is what I mean by the end of the day. I get bored. I get bored because I always expect a better challenge. Seriously, come on. A guy sitting behind a Photoshop image, really, that's the best you guys can do. I said, make the product, for goodness sake. Don't get up. Oh, you guys did that with Google dumb nonsense in the day. Really, that's the best that you could do. Why do I have to keep coming here every day and embarrassing you? You know, people see this on YouTube. They see it on Google. They see me embarrassing you guys all the time. Jeez. You guys are pitiful. This is the reason why we get no challenge here. I literally have to go to another site. I got to set up at another form site to do demonstrations over there now because we get no challenge over here. Good gracious, man. That's just sad. That is freaking sad. You know, that's why I said, you know, they'll sit up there, they'll do one poor demonstration and go, we got it. That's not enough. You got to have dozens of these videos. How many videos we've done on top of this PC? How many videos we've done outside at 50 lumens and 300 lumens? Only did one demonstration at 1,000. That's it. You have to have dozens of these videos to be able to back those up on forum sites. On every level you can possibly think of. You can't be in the same way. I'm going to bounce all over the place with this stuff. When I have the house, my screens were in every section of the house. So how in the world you guys do one video? Even Fernando doesn't know about invisible technology. He doesn't know how it works. He'll do one little demonstration and go, oh, I got it. No, you don't, because there's be tons of demonstration. You have to repeat that process multiple times. You can't sell a product on a one-try demonstration. We are right now, we're still figuring out this stuff does crazy stuff. I didn't even had no idea that we walked outside with 1,000 lumens, which is a higher lamp flare. When it pushed through the invisible screen, the lamp flare disappeared. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Didn't know it had that capability. That's why all that testing is important, so we can figure out what it does. We sat here and did that demonstration. We had the 50 lumen. Now we know that 50 lumens, they can read at 50 lumens behind the back of them, but in the front of them, they generate at 300. You don't know this stuff unless you do a testing. You have to do tons of videos to know that your stuff is working. You don't do a one-try wonder and go, oh, okay, we're done. No. There's so much stuff to get wrong. You're going to need different types and calibers of projectors, all that stuff. It's going to be needed. Looks like I got a real fish tank PC going on over here, don't it? I'll tell you right now. If I had figured this stuff out, you know how easy it would have been made to make a fish tank PC? It would have been super easy to do. Or they're just going to push the screen right through there. And I'm done with it. Alright, let me see what we got to do here. Okay, show me the music. Gotta back it up. You get mad at us because we're challenging ambient light projection, but people have ambient light projection screens. What are you showing me, man? I'm outside at 300 lumens. What are you showing me, man? You're stuck in these dark environments, and I'm outside at 300 lumens. So this is what I'm going to do. We're going to skip the challenges for these. I'm going outside at 300 lumens, and show me what you got. Our technology game versus yours. 300 lumens outside. Show me something. I could do a white storm, and that cool snowstorms at the end of the day. And you don't want to get mad at me at the end of the day because you're saying, oh, well, I'm backing up. I could see if I was in there just running my mouth and I wasn't backing anything up. I was just talking trash. Then yeah, you got me. You definitely got me. 100% you got me. That's what I'm hanging with for a minute. What's the long one? I have a very, very long one. I can't figure out what it is. How come you don't put this one? No, I gotta put it on here. Oh wait, that's not gonna, no, yeah, it would work better that way. Take this. But this has a shorter distance. I put this one here. Put that there. And then take this one. Put it here. I do it because I have that capability to do whatever I want to do with my technology. It's designed to operate on that level. You guys have to see in dark environments trying to get your screens to function. No, you see how easy it is for me to do that? Fully lit environment. You see how easy it is for me to do that? You see me in a dark environment. You see me calibrating colors and all that dumb nonsense. You see me spending the money for expensive projectors and have to worry about contrast at the end of the day. We know our stuff. That's why I can do that on camera, easy, just like that. That projector's in eco mode, by the way. Y'all can't do this. Because you need the dark. You need the dark desperately. You need the dark desperately for your stuff to work. We don't. Light's our best friend. Light's our worst enemy, and light becomes our best friend. So when I say that I'm an expert in ambient light projection technology, I can say that. And you guys can say you're expert in... Yeah, please stop it. Just cut it out, Light. Seriously. The joke's over. I'm tired of jokes. And at one point we used so much lighting in the environment that then people were saying that he's an abnormal lighting. There's no way in the world. Any commercials use that kind of lighting. That's why when we were doing all those demonstrations at the home front, we were using abnormal lighting because we knew that sooner or later we'd be in a commercial environment. Even in the dark, I generate more light than you. You have your lights behind the back of your screens trying to fake that you're a well-lit environment. You have your lamps poked into the corners pointed at the ceiling to try to make your area like it's well lit. I can take the very same lamp that you use and stick it right in front of my screen and have no issues whatsoever. The lights that you put in the back of your screen, I put right directly on my screens. My PC over here has tremendously a lot of light that pushes through that screen. Does it affect? Not at all, in any way whatsoever. Doesn't affect. Conversation myself on camera. Why do you put me in positions to embarrass you? Why? Why do you do that? Why do you put me in positions to embarrass you? What I show you on camera is not even the full capacity of what this technology can do. You haven't seen yet what it can do. It's 15% in. It's nowhere near complete of what it can do. And yet you're threatened, you're scared, you're automatically showing photoshops of fake screens at them day saying, hey, we got the same thing. We haven't even begun to show you what they do yet. This is just the tip of the iceberg. This is fun. This is just playing around having some fun. We're testing out, we're doing a test run on it. You have no idea what this technology can do. You can't compete with us. You have to understand that. Let me explain something to you, to everybody on YouTube. You cannot compete with our technology. Do you understand that? Now look, I'm trying everything I got right now to keep from unleashing what's under my desk right now. Because what's underneath there is far worse than what you're seeing right now. I designed it strictly to white screens out. Do you really want me to open what's under my desk? Because I guarantee you, I'll flatline your businesses. I'll show up at your expos with that technology and I'll take your stuff out. Everywhere you go, that technology will show up with your product attached to it. Do you really want that kind of feed? No, you don't. So this is what you do. Again, last warning. You know what we do. We know what we're capable of doing. Go in a different direction, trust me. If you want, I'll make a mockery of your stuff easily. And you can get all the lawyers you want. You can't touch us. I'll order your sample sheets. I'll get you to cancel out. I'll post your cancel receipts. I'll post money being transferred back to our account. I'll post crying emails. I'll post it all. I'll wreck everything. So, what's under the desk, let it stay under the desk. It's just a bit of a warning. Now, I got work to do. I got things I got to do. I got time for this dumb nonsense day after day. I really don't. I got work I got to do. Do you understand how that works? I work at the end of the day. I develop technology. That's what I do. You cry babies, and some of you companies out there have been whining to me at the end of the day. Shut up. Really. Because next time, I'm going to launch what's under that desk, and I guarantee you, I will post every freaking email of you crying, saying, oh, well, we didn't know, but I don't want to hear it. Now, all I want to do is develop my technology and be left alone. That's what I want to do. And you want to continue to sell your products, right? And those of you who don't sell products, you want to continue not being a constant embarrassment on YouTube. Because people are laughing at you what I do to you every day. Now, did I say anything else when I put the lamp in front of the screen? I never said that, did I? I just did it, right? Because I can. That's why. When I do these demonstrations, I've got to know where the halo lights up there or put lights in front of the screen. I do that because we can. We know we can do that. We're in a live stream right now. Do you understand me? So if it failed, you'd have saw it. So the fact that I had that much confidence, I can just grab that lamp from over there and stick it in front of that on a 300 lumen projector at 24,000 in the ceiling, and do that with ease and talk the way I talk, towards the end of the day, I know my technology. I know what's designed to do. So next time you want a nightmare on your hands, I'll unleash what's under the desk. And we'll show no mercy, which means we'll take you outside and where that thing can operate at. All right, then. I'm glad we had this nice little chat. I really enjoy these things. I do. I really enjoy them. Taco. Go back to the fan. Go back. Because you're being a jerk. Go back in. Stay there for a while. Get your head on straight. Something right there. So, as I said before, let's keep what's under the desk under the desk. Anybody care to wake it up? I'll show you exactly, do an example what it does. We're going to take 3 certified high-end screens. One's actually 2 professional screen paint products, and one's a certified. You'll be outside at 9 o'clock. Well, let's make it 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock's much more fun because they were at peak hours at that. 9 o'clock's too easy. And direct sunlight with it. Meanwhile, we got the gunmetal technology to show up next. Now, I can come, if you don't like the fact that I can come out here and say that my product's better than ambient rejection technology, this is what you do. Instead of crying about it, make something to go against our technology. Because right now, the only screens I see that claim to have this ambient rejection are gray screens, and my black technology will wipe the floor with you. Because we got a black technology that reads outside at 300 lumens. How are you going to handle something like that? And you can't even operate in your environment that you're in right now, and you got a gray screen claiming to have ambient rejection. My theory is this: you don't have ambient rejection at all, period. I'm going to challenge your companies, your screens, your channel, whatever, that you don't have it. I feel by my standards, if you claim to have ambient rejection, you should be able to operate with that much light. If you're not operating this kind of lighting, you don't have it. So that's why we're going to be on the forum sites. We're going to be on the forum sites talking about how you don't have ambient light rejection for real. Only we have it. And if anyone feels at the end of the day it just ruffles your feathers, then guess what? Don't talk about it. Let's get it done. And I got time to talk. Talk is cheap. Back it up. Or pack it up. Yeah, it's funny. I made that statement multiple times to that fellow at the end of the day, and he ended up packing it up. You see that? He packed everything up. He checked down his website and all that. So he did pack it up. See? Because I know your stuff isn't real. That's how I know. I know your stuff's not real. If your stuff's not real, I already know what you can do. It's not going to last long. You can't live that life forever. So, what are you connected to? Educating you on basically rear projection technology, front projection technology, ambient light rejection technology. Our new gain is far more powerful than the ARR technology. And then to our standards, when we get done with it, it's considered to be obsolete. It's outdated. It's like a lamp right next to that thing and nothing at all. Nothing at all. This is all you got. That's all you got. It's like when we're outside in the sun and my screens are taking that hit, only 50 lumens, that's it. And they're saying like, that's all you got. That's all you got. And the rest of your screens are inside looking out the window like, wow, I wish we could do that. I wish we could be like that screen at the end of the day. I wish we could be that. You can't. You don't have the technology. You're outdated. That's why you can't do it. You're outdated. Know how you position your lighting and your case adds depth to your screen. Did you know that? It does. So you ever design your lights where they're farther away in step system. So you have one here. Oh, light's gonna be on for this. See? I can't even explain to this because they turn the lights on, the screen washes out. All right, let's show you. So basically, it's a depth system. So basically, you have a fan here, and a fan back there. And it gives off like you have a deep screen, or deep tank, when you really don't. But my tanks, actually, my which one was going a little farther. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Now, naysayers, no, we don't reply to you because I'm going against ambulate rejection. You don't make a product. You don't make anything at all. You just go on YouTube and cry. You're cheerleaders. That's what you are. You don't make anything. You don't make any screen paint. You don't do any testing, nothing. And if you did have anything, you're out of business. Naysayer Partake, out of business. Naysayer Crow, out of business. McAfee, never had a screen paint ever. Did a background check, nothing. Nothing whatsoever, no videos, nothing, no forum sites, nothing else, no customers, no customer reviews, not a thing, nothing. Silent Night is a lie, of course. And then Nerd had to sit there and say that the product, try to beef up the paint he didn't even have by saying that Parte's Series C was a little better than its Silent Night, which is pretty good. Man, if you don't stop lying on camera, then you know people can do background checks on all that stuff, right? Got on camera and said his Silent Night was just a tad less than Parte's. You don't have a paint. You never made one in your entire life, knowing that you have the experience in the field. You did a horrible job on whatever review nonsense that was to be when the screen came up gray and still try to lie through your teeth to say exactly that what you're seeing here, what we saw there is a gray screen. That's what we saw, a gray screen. Bottom line, gray screen. That's what we saw. Nothing more, nothing less. So, the fact that you said your stuff was slightly less, but still so good, compared to a screen that failed miserably in your own review. So that means your product sucks. But your product doesn't suck. You know why? Because you don't have a product. Because I did the check for it and you don't have one. You never made a product ever. Just lying on camera. That's all you gotta do is lie. And that other guy at the end of the day, Fernando at the end of the day, well, we got the refusal under the desk. That right there explains it right there. But the multiple cancellations and crying over seats, but the worst of the worst, denied his own product from his own tutorial. Literally, really? And then sends it back. And mind you, we made it for $15 when some of y'all paid $60 to $90 for that product. We made it for $15. 2 quarts of that, by the way. And then to make matters worse, my cat blanket matched it. Forget the bed sheet. A cat blanket from Petco at $4.35 matched the screen. That you just coughed up $90 to $60 for. The blanket he scratches and humps from time to time matched a screen paint. The blanket's been sitting there for roughly, I'd say, a year or so. That wasn't even in good condition. It was marks all in it, and it still matched the screen. Boy, you talk about getting ripped off. And you people sat there and did reviews on this stuff. Say, oh, it's the best screen paint I ever had in my entire life. It's definitely the best of the best. How you feeling right now about that statement? Not too good, right? I'm pretty sure you're not. So you don't know Jack. Like the owner doesn't know Jack. Because he refused his own stuff. How does that work? I know he's in the room, by the way. Oh, good morning, Jamie. We know you're in here. How does that work? He threw you under a bus. So you got up there on YouTube, put your self-dignity and respect out there on the line, and the guy who made the paint denied it and sent it back. How does that make you feel about right now? Well, it is what it is. You can't back it up. I told you that for years. Meanwhile, we do this while making that statement. Where's my lamp at? I want that lamp again. It's full, man. It's full. Put the lamp back up. We got that power. I'm going to do a demonstration like this. Another flex demonstration. Do we need to flex? Do we need to flex? I thought we need to flex. Do we need to flex? Should I do what I should do it underwater and push a light through it with a projector? Do we need to flex? Do we need that? Do we need to flex? Should we flex on y'all? I'm trying to be nice. I'm not trying to flex too much today. I'm trying to keep it, flex y'all. But I'm going to flex on y'all. I got a buddy of mine. He's a bodybuilder. When we do the screens outside, he's going to flex on y'all. Boom. He's going to flex all over y'all. Boom. Great screens. I'm going to flex on you. We're going to have some fun with it. We're going to have some fun. I can't wait to get my system in here. So I'm going to pop all over the place, have some fun. We're going to flex on y'all. Flex. Hey, we can flex on you with the flex. What are you mad about? You see you get mad, get angry, get bitter again. Remember. You guys said at the end of the day that I was supposed to be the scammer, right? I'm supposed to be the rip-off artist, right? Yet I'm kicking the crap out of you. Every single day I kick the crap out of you. Every day I get on this camera and I put on an open shot, I kick the crap out of you every freaking day. Tomorrow I'm going to kick the crap out of you. The next day I'm going to kick the crap out of you. When we get that system and we're bumps now all over, I'm going to kick the crap out of you every day. I'm going to be calling you out. Any company, call you out. Challenging your ambient light rejection technology outside in the sun. I'm going to flood YouTube with so many demonstrations. If you can type in the S and all, just us popping up, sun technology. We're flooding, man. I got 10 other people on board that floods with me. They're going to all the different forum sites. They're flooding their stuff everywhere. And their challenges you to challenge us at the end of the day. We're challenging you. Show me what you got, ambient light rejection. Show me what you got. Influencers with millions and millions of followers. You talked all this stuff about ambient light rejection. Show us something. Show us what ambient light rejection does. Especially with them projectors you got. Come on, man. Put some light in there for goodness sakes. Any influencer, we don't care who you are. You do basically advertise on ambient light rejection screens. Show me. Show me at the end of the day. Because when we get done with ABS forums, only our technology is going to be there. And please, don't do like the losers do. Don't go grab something, some Photoshop nonsense and go, oh, look, it's the same thing. You're probably, don't. You just be an idiot. Oh, my goodness. Why do you do this, Mr. Bird? Why? What do you do it to them? All these hands at the end of the day that create the giant, the amazing technology you see before you. Why? Why do we do this to you? Because we can. We can. That's what we do. I love embarrassing you. I embarrass you every single day. Every day. You can't compete with us. We are way too powerful. Yeah, we are definitely way too powerful. We haven't even seen anything what this thing can do yet. This is a 15%er. You know that, right? They're 15% screens. You haven't seen anything what they're designed to do yet. Right now, we're just playing with you. You know, tigers do that. Cats do that. When they catch their prey, they don't kill them right away, which is cruel, but they don't kill them right away. They play with them first before they take them out. That's what we're doing to you right now. We're playing around with you. We're giving you opportunities. Take the opportunity so we can crush you even faster. So we're playing around with you first. Then we'll crush you. Yeah, I'd like to work next to this stuff. We got it right up on top of the screen. A 300 lumens little thing. Having a ball, man. This is getting me excited, man. This is getting me excited. I swear, it takes everything I have to keep from launching what's under that desk, man. It takes everything I have. I want to so badly. But, like I said, we're chilling enough right now. We're chilling right now. It's not important, right? Not important. We're chilling. That's not even needed. That's not even necessary right now. This is doing too much, you know? Doing too much. Right? That's unnecessary. Right? We don't need to launch what's under the desk, do we? Now remember what I said at the end of the day. Never worry about what you can see. Worry about what you can't see. Worry about what's under that desk. That's what you worry about. That's what people who do fake demonstrations. You worry about what's under the desk. You don't worry about what's under. Put some light behind the back of the screen. Worry about what's under the desk. That's what you worry about. Because if a receipt or an order pops through, and my company's name pops up on it and has my name across it, your company's over. Just so you know that we got your stuff. That's why Partey got scared like that. You saw my name pop up? Oh yeah, people feel when their names pop up on your receipts. My name popped up on their receipt, showing who I was. What did he do? He canceled the order as fast as he possibly could. Terrifying. Jamie went through the same thing. Popped up on his receipt. Order came through for him. He canceled the order as fast as he could. And then cried on other receipts after sending us an email. Don't forget the email. Sent us an email to buy whatever you want. Talk a lot of trash, right? Couldn't write that check correctly, could you? I cashed it for you. So when you see our name pop up on an order, yeah, be terrified. Because if you don't do these demonstrations, we'll have to put you in. It's only fair, right? Especially if you're challenging me at any rate. So, you guys ready for flex? You can handle it? Yeah. I can literally see lights behind that screen. It won't even touch it. Doesn't phase it. Nothing phases it. It's insane technology. Remind you, this is the technology, again, like I said, that we made the statement that if I was to scam, I said to the Lord, if I was all these things, may the Lord expose me. Everybody else is being exposed. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to give a nickname to the technology we have under the desk. It's a scary nickname. It's designed to be the boogeyman for other projection screens. I haven't thought of it yet, but it'll come to mind. Now it's only going to be used. You can't buy it. It's used for one purpose only. It's designed like Spartans. Spartans were so terrified. At the end of the day, we got someone to cancel out the entire state of Pennsylvania. They were scared of a Spartan technology. This is going to be different than Spartan. So, bottom line is, if your company talks trash, we sick it on you. And it's only at 10% completed. So at 10%, it'll wipe your entire product line easily. At 10%. Now, I know naysayers, you don't make products at the end of the day, so we don't include you. Your kitchen sink material. You know, that stuff that you stick under the sink that you pretty much won't go get way in the back. Usually you put all your cleaning products in the front, but that's what you're going to get into. But all that stuff, like, you know, stuff you'll never touch ever again, that's just way in the back. That's where you're at right now. All right, have some fun here. I enjoyed myself. I got work to do today. Oh crap, that thing came on by itself. You see that? Nothing, because I didn't have it clicked over. Usually in demonstrations like that, where stuff comes on all by itself like that, because you didn't shut something off correctly, this is where a person's screen gets embarrassed because it popped on. You know, like the guy who did the demonstration, Emily McAfee, and the Starfield came up and the screen turned gray. Yeah. But let's add to this light. Let's add to it. Why not? Let's share a light with it. Why not? Because we can do that. Because we got that ability. Bam, 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 bam. I've got that power. We can't get mad about that. We got power. Power. All right. Now, I would say, usually at the end of the day, that we are developing this to even the playing field. But now, honestly, since things have changed with me, I'm developing the technology for just about everything, which means companies also too. I mean, contracting and all that stuff out for companies. So it's not about that anymore. So that means that the screens are expensive. They're expensive. But I'm trying to keep them at $2,000. That's the best I can do. $2,000 for 4 of them. That's what we're going to charge for them. The other pieces, the ones, the bigger tiles, which my friend's going to be purchasing, the 48 by 96, they're $6,000 a piece. He's ordering 20 of them for his setup. Because they're expensive. The big ones are expensive to ship. They're about $6,000 a piece. The screens are 100 inches, actually 106 inches. That tile is around 106 inches at 48 by 96. So they're about $6,000. It's about $5,000 to $6,000 a piece. The cheapest ones we have are the Flexes. Some of the Flexes are cheaper, and the screens on the go. They're a little bit more cheaper. They're about in the range of maybe $400 to $500. That's not going to be a surface that you're going to see like this. It'll be a stiffer surface, but it'll have a magnetic system that locks on the bottom of it. Not magnetic, it'll clip system that lock on the bottom of it, so that way you can set the screen up and watch movies. I'm planning to turn one into a computer monitor, which I need. All right, let me shuttle this stuff down. It's one of the demonstration system. We're too busy showing off stuff in demonstrations. I gotta get that coated black and get that up and set up. You know what's interesting about the setup in here? Everything is designed here to work together. Watch, I'll show you something cool. It's all designed. I built it so I can basically interchange things back and forth. Now with the other setup I had, the screen was pretty big. And the only difference with that is, we gotta look at the adapter for this thing. The only difference with that, we just have one screen up there. Or I can paint one a different one, we just have one, two screens. This allows me to change my screens at will. Oh, I gotta find the power cord for this thing. What do we do with that? Here. Suspension cord. Yep, that's definitely. That's not it. What are you? You're definitely a cord to the leg. That's not a shoe. Rear lights. That's this mess over here. Over here. Here are lights. We go to fire stick, TV. We got joystick, which is not good. Like this. This is for charging my phone. This is for lights. And now we just need to find the epic power cord, which is going to be good. So I set this whole thing up to allow me to be able to interchange my screens at will. That's the other way we had it. We just had it so it was just subjected to the big screens we had in it, which were nice to have, but the small ones actually were better because we could change them out. I could change out to my fluorescent, anything I want in here. That's invisible technology. Now see how cool that is? I can have the ring system in there to the screen behind it because it's black technology. That's our screen paint we show off. And then if I want to show off the bigger tiles of the invisible technology, I can display it right through there with the ring system already installed in. See? Not to do anything separate. It's all built in. So it allows me to interchange. Anytime I want to test any one of the invisible technology, I already have a 12K halo system already installed in. And then behind it is the actual screen paint that actually can also take in 12K also by producing an image. That's how we do our demonstrations at the end of the day. That's why we call ourselves Unmatched. Unmatched. Look at the haters all getting all mad right now. Bottom lip biter. They bite, don't bite too hard. Bleed. Easy. 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 Don't fight too hard, it's easy. You'll be alright. Look at that. See? Now, did I say I was going to do that in the demonstration? No, I just did it. You know why? Because I can. You got to have confidence in your product. You can't be afraid of it. If you're afraid of your product, how are you selling it? If you're afraid to do this in your demonstration, you just see me change the screen out multiple times in the demonstration, right? And each time I just add a light to it, right? If you're afraid to do these demonstrations at will, then that means you have no confidence in your product. And if you have no confidence in your product, why are you selling it? See, every day I gotta come out here. I gotta embarrass you. This is stuff I gotta do to you every day. I gotta embarrass you. I just had that over here just a few minutes ago. Now I got it over here. Now we got the halo system on it, and we got it under all this light. That's the technology reads outside. The black reads outside. Now I gotta walk the streets and say, why did you have to go that hard on it? Why did you have to destroy them like that? Was that necessary? Wasn't necessary. Was it necessary for me to do you this way? Was it necessary for people to talk trash? I'm past the 101. I came out here and showed what my technology does, did I not? I came and showed you my archives. I showed you the years I sit back. I showed you my experience. I showed you my spreadsheet on what I do. I showed you my experience versus everybody else. And now I'll come out here and I do this to you just for fun. You're lucky me ain't got a sunny day. I'll embarrass you out there too. Next time you send me an email, tell me at the end of the day that you think you know invisible technology, go in a different direction. Williams. You got enough problems in your hand. That is not your biggest problem right now. Those emails we just sent over, the lawyer and all them sent those emails over, that's what you got to worry about. Right now, at this particular point, someone has contacted you and they're screaming at you right now. I know they are. Because now they're terrified. And they should be. Because we gave them the option. Mind you, we gave them the option to clean the mess up. And they failed to do so. And now we got something even worse that came over here from him. That also involves someone's property. So now it's far worse than what it is. Now these are grounds for lawsuits. And he made it far worse. On top of that, when they're done all this that they have to go through, they're going to make sure they never, ever have an option for a single person to come in there as a single man. You wrecked it for your own people. And they'll sit around and blame it on me, tell me, I know you wrecked, how would I wreck it? But let's not talk about that. You got enough problems today. You got more problems coming. You got no emails that are coming over today. The criminal charges we're following, the DC numbers are being emailed over, let them know that we filed criminal charges here and with Baltimore police. Also, too, those docket numbers, they go out to everybody. So the people who actually are in charge of that actual building, not the managers, we're reaching out to them to tell them the problem we had with the individual managers that ignored that issue before it got to this point. So we're looking for people's jobs, and they don't get your job. Because we can clearly show them at the end of the day, we were in contact with management and showed them those messages that were coming to us, and they ignored it. But someone's going to lose their job over this mess. And they could turn around, they could file a lawsuit against him. But then they can't really because they let it slide. All right then. Well, we got more to go over. There's a lot more going over. Let me see. We're going to go real quick. I'm getting cooked in here. Cook. I haven't been on the invisible screen in a while. Oh, I want to do that. Whatchamacallit? Black background, beta fish. Where's my Coca-Cola container at? Bam. Why? Why do you force me to do this to you? Why? Oh, for a minute, I thought that lady gave me the middle finger. I was like, what the freak kind of commercial was that? Why do you make the difference to your dog? Why? Why is dogs necessary to destroy you like this? Come on, hands just right here. Why do you make me kick your butt this way? Why? Let me tell you something. You can say I'm unprofessional. Oh, no, I'm very professional. I just can kick your butt and sing about it and have fun with it. Why did you make me kick your butt this way? Ooh, 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 ooh. You're getting spanked. You know, we're beating the daylights out of you right now. I just showed you over here, and I showed you up there, and I dropped it at 300 lumens there at 24,000. I was playing over here, showing my Coca-Cola bottle piercing right through crystal clear. While we got 12,000 K of LED lights, including light piercing into the screen and over top, and doing this with ease and eagle mode. Just for fun. Do the light up against there for fun. It's what we do. It's what we do. I played the song called Hammer Don't Hurt 'Em. Oh, man. See? And then I come on there, I show my experience, right? I show my resume, right? What I do, right? My experience, my field, my knowledge, right? My hard work, my grind. They're coming to do this to you. I back it up. That's what I do. Now, when I get the machine in here that I need, the basic, we'll walk around and do the demonstrations. This is where we're going to flex. We're going to flex. We're going to be all over the place. And question, ambulite rejection, old traditional ambulite rejection, that's what I call it. Can you come outside and play? Now, see, you gotta get it all cleaned up here. See, the naysayers are mad because their products failed, and they have nothing to show for it. So all they can do is cry about us. That's them. That's a whole different category by itself. The ambulite rejection technology, they have pressure because now we're doing demonstrations like this on our level, and we're claiming that our ambulite rejection is better than them. So they're going to have to back that stuff up, or basically anyone looking for a high-end ambulite rejection screen is going to come toward us because they're not going to buy them because we're outside and we're doing demonstrations like this for fun. So now their very existence of everything they said about what they have a form site and this is what you do, you're being challenged now. You're going to have to show that screen firing up in an environment like this. That's not going to work. Not here, outside. So that's what the problem is right now. So that's that group right there. Now the people, the crybabies under the sink on the back area, we stick them at, the old rusty nails back there that you'll never use anyway. You say you're going to use it, but you're never going to use it. You're going to stay back there and collect like dust. Those individuals are just crying because they don't make any screen paints. And if they did, they're not existing anymore because their companies failed. So they don't have anything. They're just crying. That's it. And they're trying to find anything to go against us, even if they don't make it. As we call desperate people at the end of the day. It's sad but funny at the same time. That's what makes that interesting. It's sad and funny at the same time. It's like watching a clown trying to go to a case, a fight as a lawyer and be taken seriously. You can't take him seriously. He got these giant red shoes on and a nose that makes a dun 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 and a little flower that squirts water out of. You can't take that seriously. But the sad thing about the clown is wants to be the lawyer is that he doesn't even know the knowledge of being a lawyer at all, period. He has to try to wing it through. All right, we had a lot of fun here. We spent some time. I want to put some really good time in here. Am I going to get rid of this video? Nah, definitely no, because I need this video at the end of the day. I'm going to use it on other sites to show how badly we embarrass people that talk too much trash at the end of the day. Oh, is that my screen with all that light on over there? Should we use sunglasses? I think we need sunglasses in here, man. It's too much light in here. Oh my goodness, the light in here is insane. All right, you got to whip out the sunglasses, people. We start doing demonstrations with sunglasses on. That's how much light we have in here, man. Can you naysayers wear sunglasses in here? You can't, because you know why? Your environments are too dark. Y'all be like, I wear my sunglasses at night. That's what you be doing, right? Wearing your sunglasses at night. We got to wear sunglasses in here. We got so much light in here. I literally got a tan up in this dip. A tan up in here. Where y'all sitting at? Y'all sitting in the dark? You don't need these, right? You don't need these. You want a pair of these? You need these? You need some sunglasses? You don't need them. You're good. You're good. You're sitting in the dark. See, I don't got to embarrass you. Okay, let me get off of here before I basically embarrass you some more, okay? Here's the kicker of it all. Mind your business. Stay in your lane. That's what you do. For people who want to know more about our technology, just reach out to us. We'll educate you on how it's supposed to be done. As for everybody else, well, that's just you at the end of the day. All right, then. Gotta go. But I'm telling you, talk about kicking someone's butt on a daily basis. Gee whiz Louise. I mean, really, seriously. I swear, these naysayers are freaking funny as on the way.